Welcome to the beautiful Gold Coast here in south of Queensland, or south of Brisbane. This is Mark Kennedy here with Gilbert McAdam, the absolute champion, ex-AFL, SANFL legend, Magarey medalist, and we are here for the round 2 NEAFL clash between the Canberra Demons and the home team, the Southport Sharks, in what promises to be a fantastic game, Gilbert.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great game. Obviously, Southport are in 6th spot, Canberra in 7th spot, so you'd like to think that they're pretty even because they're so close on the ladder, but Southport at home, you know, with their home ground advantage, the boys have obviously come from Canberra, so it's set up for a good day. Magnificent day today, Mark. Like, it's just, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else in Australia. Just absolutely beautiful. This ground is just magnificent.
It certainly is. Of course, both teams will be looking to get their off the mark in terms of their wins for the year. Both went down last week in round 1. The Southport Sharks went down to Aspley, I think one of the premiership favourites this year, by 10 points, and they came hard late in the game to just fail by those 10 points. And the Canberra Demons, they went down at home last week to the Redland Bombers, also by 10 points. So there's a bit of synergy there, and they also really hit back hard. So we are going to have warm conditions today here, Gilbert, and both sides will be desperate to really open their account. Yeah,
look, and you know, that's one thing I love about Brisbane. You don't get unfootball-like conditions at this way, and it's you get it every day, and in Queensland, especially in Brisbane. And will the heat actually affect the Canberra guys? Because I mean, the Brisbane guys, you know, they're a bit more used to the weather, and they'll play out the 4 quarters, but Canberra, what do you think about there? Will it affect them, the weather?
Look, I think the longer the game goes on, obviously the more it is going to have an effect in the way they go about it. So a quick start for them will be absolutely vital to the way they go about their game today. Of course, what we do know is they got away to a bit of a slower start last week, and Southport, something a little bit similar, but they were in the contest all day. So it is going to be the key for Canberra to really get out of the blocks.
Yeah, look, Mark, we've just looked at some of the players from both sides, and I might just mention a couple of players to just keep an eye out for and just to watch. And there's some, I'll mention the Canberra Demons players. You know a bit more about the Southport guys?
Yeah, certainly do. And just running down a bit of their list there, Andrew Boston, he voluntarily actually went off the Gold Coast Suns list, suggesting that the commitments of AFL weren't quite what he was after in his life. So he has come back to the Southport Sharks, and he is an AFL standard player. There's no doubt about it. You'll see him today. He's got the, he looks like a little Mexican wrestler getting around there. He's got a little mustache and getting around there. He'll be through the midfield. Jack Anthony, of course, we know he's an AFL standard player. Yes. He had stints with Collingwood and Fremantle. Yes. He'll play at centre-half forward or even deeper at full forward. He's a linchpin to kicking goals for them. And Fraser Thurlow, he's back in the Southport colours, or in the Southport colours for the first time, I should say. He's had a stint in the SANFL at Woodville West Torrens, and prior to that, he was on Essendon's list. He's a big lump of a man, so you'll see him around the middle of the ground working hard.
Yeah, look, just from the Canberra Demons, just to mention a couple of players. Obviously, Captain Nicholas Hine, or is it Hayne?
I'd say Hayne there.
Yeah, it's Hayne. So you know, he's definitely a leader of the team, and there's no doubt that he'll fly the flag for him. Jordan Harper, he's one to look out for, number 17. He's one of their better players, along with young Nicholas Fothergill. He's one player to look out for, and he had some interest from some AFL clubs previously.
Yeah, look, he's a very good young player. There's no doubt about that, as we saw the toss conducted, and we'll see who pointed which way very shortly by the way they line up. But another player for me, Big Ben Dowdle, you won't miss him. Yes. I said that Fraser Thurlow is a big lump of a lad. Big Dowdle, he's exactly the same. He played for the NEAFL in their representative game last year against Tasmania. Did very well in what was the bottom side in the competition last year. Wow. He really stood tall, not only in stature, but really for his team. So it is going to be a good game here. Both sides, as we try and get some measure about where they're at in the competition, these early rounds, it really is going to be a bit of cut and thrust the way this game sort of works it out, as we work out who are the powerhouses in the NEAFL 2016 and who might just be really struggling to sort of get to that upper echelon.
Or maintain it from last year. You're spot on. I just want to send a little cheerio to a Manuka and East Lake legend in John Jacko Penny. I hope that's the right way of pronouncing it. So, look, Jacko, if you're watching, you know, great to Yeah, I just want to send hello to you, and hope you're doing really well. I know you've been through some tough times in the last 12 months with your wife, and I know you've been battling illness yourself, and I know you're on the road back to recovery. So, John Jacko Penny from Gilly McAdam, and even Mark Kennedy, we just wish you all the best, and good luck to your Canberra Demons today.
And certainly I echo the great man Gilbert McAdam's sentiments for you. So we are going to be lining up here. It looks like Southport will be kicking to the right of screen. And a big inclusion for Southport, we might add today. He's making a few headlines around the country today. And we won't go into those exactly why. If you read your newspapers, you might work it out. But Nathan Bock, the ex-Adelaide Crow and Gold Coast Sun, is into the fray for the Southport Sharks today.
Oh, look, I just reckon it's great for Southport. It's great for the Gold Coast, great for Queensland, to have ex-AFL footballers. It doesn't matter where they come from and who they played for. It's great for the competition, and these young kids that get the opportunity to play with them, more importantly, they get to train with them. They see how they train. They get to learn a bit of professionalism. So it's great for the development of the team and the league in this competition.
We are just about ready to get underway. It's both Gilbert and my first foray into NEAFL for 2016, but these two sides, it's their second foray into the season. And it'll be Dowdle and Thurlow to get us underway. The bounce is a beauty in the middle of Fankhauser Reserve. That was Thurlow, went over the top. And Budrick, he looked like he copped a high one. Umpire says no. And we'll have a ball up.
Yeah,
just
look,
forward centre for Southport.
Just at the moment, it's all man-on-man around. There's no loose man in defence or anything like that, Mark.
Now Hayne, he's bumped off it there by Holland. He's unloaded. Eastlake, they can just work the ball. Here's one of their prime movers in Harper. Goes out to the outer wing, looking for Bruce. He'll be an important player. Takes a good mark on the lead in front of Penoza. They go over the top. They just work it well. Here's Martin. He's come from the SANFL. And they go inside forward 50.
Oh,
and
great
he's
kick.
Holding the hand up. That's a great kick from Flaherty. And Liam Flaherty, he was an inclusion today. He'll be at centre-half forward for them most of the day. And he kicks truly. And we talked about them getting away to a flyer. The Canberra Demons, they've done just that, Gilbert.
Yeah, look, great start. And, they set that up really well. And the thing that I liked about it was they left the wing with space. And that's what you want to do if you want to open it up. And they worked it well. They not only kicked the ball out of the backline defence, they kept running and they had numbers. They did that easy in the end.
They certainly did. It's in the middle for Southport. Buderick, Wilson, Boston, and the ruckman in Thurlow. Give that one to Dowdle, though. There's Harper again. He'll rack him up, and we'll have some stats as we go forward. There's Martin getting off to Big Dowdle. Look for a lead. Kicks it to space. Who's going to be first there? It is going to be the Canberra Demons, but laying a very solid tackle that time was Ericsson, and we'll have a ball up just inside forward 50 on the clubhouse side for the Demons.
Yeah, great play by Harper. He knows how to find the ball, Mark.
And, of course, he's come across this year to the Canberra Demons.
I like the way even though he's kicked it long, he's back in the forward 50. He's obviously got an engine on him.
Some AFL clubs are certainly looking at him in last year's draft. Some people might suggest he's a little bit unlucky. Plemming, he's wrapped up. He got it from Harper. There's Keel, just kicks it off the side of the boot. Manages to stay in. And that is Bernasconi. He chips it inboard. Goes to McKay. Is it one of their development players? Goes short again. Doesn't find the target. And Bernasconi and Southport can mop up. Here's Boston. Under the hammer. Pushed as he kicked it. Managed to get it to the advantage of his team. There's Bock. Just gives a good handball off. Here's Clement. Gives it a quick one off there to Buderick. Feeds it out now to Boston. He's very good by foot generally. And no exception that time. He finds Hayden Keel. Ex-Grogan medalist. Just chips it over the top. Finds a target. And that is Zach Sard.
Good to see Nathan Bock get a touch early. Might give the players a bit of confidence. But Boston, that was well done by him. That was a great kick to set it up.
Again, good vision by Boston. That's one of his features of his game. Vision and disposal by foot. So Zach Sard just lining it up here. Not sure what to do. He was looking to give it off, but decides, I think, he's going to try and shoot it. No, he goes short. He kicks a worm banner, looking for Bock. Bock gives it straight back to him. Sarden, bit of waxing. Bock shoots on goal. It's right to the goal square. And Eastlake rush it through. And that's the first score for Southport. One straight for Eastlake. Southport just the one behind. 5 points of difference.
Yeah, they probably should have done better with that one.
There was Crowley. The ball came to the back, though. Now Eastlake just try and work it through hands. A very good tackle on that occasion. McKenzie it was that laid it. And we'll have a ball up right on the centre wing, and we've got a good view of this stoppage.
He looks like a tough, hard player, McKenzie. That was a brilliant tackle.
Thurlow got the hit out. Lagana can't take it. Southport, here's a Boston. Just roosts it high to half forward. And getting under it there, that's Frail. He's anything but. He's a little bit tall and wiry, admittedly. Not frail. Here's Bernasconi. This goes across the ground. Finds House. And out to the wing. Out of pocket, I should say, go. It ends up with Taylor. Came off the bench. Isaac Taylor, he racked them up last week. Goes short, just inside the centre square. Finds Lagana. Boy from Bermagui, I think he is. And gives it off out wide. And they work it again. Harper, he ended up with it and got it from Collins. Now they work it through hands. They're just trying to get it forward. They do that now. Bruce, he had the right spot, but Johnny on the spot was Crowley to knock the ball over the boundary line. And again, not a bad foray in terms of constructing something into the forward line, the Demons.
Yeah, and Harper's getting a lot of the ball early, and that was good set up by him over to Collins. And that's the kick he won from Collins. Just get it in the forward 50 and see what happens.
So Thurlow had front spot. There's Taylor to Harper. Shot at goal. Bruce was there. Just dribble still in play. High tackle. And that'll go against Jack Barker and will go the way of Penoza. He goes short. Has Tom Thine. Comes out right near the Demons coach's bench or interchange. And what we're going to see there is a throw-in right in front there.
Yeah, just by watching the game so far, the ruckmen are going to be so crucial to the outcome of the game because it looks to me that whoever can get first use of the ball onto their midfield, they can set the game up.
Askew is in the ruck,
Great
goes
tap.
against Thurlow, I should say. Hayne wraps a Southport player up in a very, looks almost like a wrestling move. And we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, Jordan Harper, he almost got the hands on again then. He's looking quite good at the moment.
So Thurlow gives a free kick away in the ruck. And the sneeze.
He's a big man, Thurlow. Look at the size of him.
He is. And I was just going to say the sneeze. Askew, his name is. Sam Askew, he's got it. Nickname him the sneeze. Inside forward 50 he goes. And the kick wasn't well directed on that occasion. And Thine mops it up. He goes to the outer side. The Mosquito fleet of Southport just try and take the ball away. The target was Burge, couldn't quite get it. Now Eastlake go back into attack. And the kick came in beautifully for Jack Baker. And he can go back and shoot for goal. 45-degree angle. We'll say about 30 metres out he'll have to kick from.
Yeah, look, he should kick that mark. But, look, well done by the defence of the Canberra Demons. And, gee, they just set it up well. And I've noticed when they get the ball, they don't just kick it anywhere. They actually look for a target. And that's important. You'd rather get caught holding the ball and giving it to your man than just kicking it blindly.
So Baker, he'll look to give Canberra a dozen points. And it wasn't a Baker's dozen. It's just a solitary behind.
Yeah, and well done to Mitch Frail who set that up before. And isn't it funny the name? And he is frail. But he's tall though. He looks like about 3 metres tall.
Yeah, he's tall, wiry. Kick goes to the back pocket for Southport. Butterick is the target. Gives it off to Thine. Wider here have Headland, the captain of Southport. And they get further afield, have Crowley. So they've gone. Well, they've traversed pockets.
Dangerous.
Going towards Boston. He can't handle the hard tackle. It's a push in the back, so he's a little bit lucky. Hayne was a bit overzealous there, and Boston will take the free kick.
Good pressure though by Canberra because they're holding the ball inside their forward 50, and Southport just need to be a bit be careful here. Don't be too fancy. Just move it out of the 50.
It doesn't look to be any breeze of any great nature that would favour one side or the other, Gilbert, unless you can pick something up. That's Burge.
Yep.
And they're away. They come through. Taking a couple of bounces there is Trask, doing well. He can transport inside forward 50. Bock is the target. He's over the back. Couldn't quite take it. House. Oh, sorry, it was Thurlow over the back there. And he just slammed it on the boot. Didn't have control of it. And it went out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, Darcy Trask did look good running through the middle. And that's what Southport need to do. They seem to be going on the wings a bit too much, or the back pocket. Just go straight down the guts. He's got a lot of pace, Darcy.
He certainly does. The kick in, finds Fothergill. It's not much of him.
I was going to say, don't worry about the little short guys, though. They're normally the toughest in the team, aren't they?
They are. The kick wasn't a good one. Screech, he scoops it up for Southport, just kicks it across the face. And I think he engineered that one down Thurlow, and he goes backwards and finds Wilson.
Yeah, good play by Thurlow then, because he was on the angle. That's just unselfish play. Great setup.
And you can see that he actually deliberately didn't shoot for goal. He just kicked almost the check side, so it was going to slide away from the face so he could find a teammate. So very cleverly done.
Yeah, but it's an interesting game. It's sort of going from goal to goal, and it seems very even at the moment.
So Wilson, I was going to say look good off the boot, but it swung to the right. So maybe that's, if we do have a little bit of breeze, it is pushing towards us in the commentary box or where the clubhouse is here at Fankhauser Reserve. So that's 2 behinds for Southport. The Demons, 1-1-7. And that looked like might be just stepping over the line of the goal square is Collins. And that will mean we have a ball up right at the top of the goal square. So that's a bad error from the Demons.
Oh, look, coaches don't like that sort of stuff happening because it's an unnecessary free. It's like tennis. It's an unforced error, you know. Like, you can't afford to do them things.
Here's Holland. Goes backwards, finds a target, and that'll be... We'll pick that player up in just a second. And it's Hector. So...
He was actually the emergency today, and he's been rushed into the side.
Yep, so do need to find some last-minute changes, admittedly, from these two sides. But regardless, he's out there, and he's ready to shoot for goal. He's going to have to kick the maximum from 50. Those long,
good kick.
Swinging back a little bit. It's a beauty. So Hector laid in first home.
Yeah, great kick and great goal there, and I'll tell you one thing what Southport are doing is their interchange. It's a hot day, Mark, and we spoke about it before the game, but I'll tell you, Coach Bock is definitely making the changes, and, you know, that's going to pay dividends late in the game because that might be the difference between winning and losing, especially in the last quarter.
So Southport hit the front, 1-2-8, and the Demons 1-1-7, so 1 point the difference. We've played about 11, nearly 12 minutes of this first quarter here on the beautiful Gold Coast. Stevenson in the ruck now. There's Taylor, though. And they just extract the ball from the middle. Do the Canberra Demons out to the wing. And leading the race on that occasion, that's Donnelly. Takes a bounce. Now he's going to transport it long inside forward 50. Anthony was the target there. And Screech, he mops it up at the back. Goes around the corner left foot this time, but doesn't screw it back enough. And just to the near side, so they extend their margin to 2 points. Could have been by another goal if they were just that little bit more accurate, Gilbert.
Yeah, and Canberra winning the out of the centre square again, and it's that man Harper who got it out, but unfortunately it went to Donnelly, and Southport set that up well.
Dowdle's a big target. He comes through, just upends his own player in the finish. And it was Baker that he upended, and the ball spills out half forward on the clubhouse side for Southport. So Stevenson in the ruck with Dowdle. Dowdle had front spot there. Harper, he's underneath the ball there. Southport, they're going to come away with it. Wilson off to Boston, just shoots it low and hard, but getting back there nicely was McLaughlin. Looks like he's got the task back there. The kick wasn't a good one. McLaughlin, he gets it back, goes short, dangerous kick, but finds Fothergill. 25 metres out from his own goal, directly in front. He manages to get it out the outer side to Frail. Goes up the wing. The kick wasn't a good one. Keel. He put the tackle on. That's Bock. Just using his strength to muscle the ball over the line to tackle.
Yeah, that's what you want early. You want to make an impact early and let the opposition know you're in for a hard game today. Great tackle by Bock.
Dowdle just looks for Stevenson. Stevenson got to the front there. Oh, just coming over there indiscriminately was Screech, and he got Harper high. He's off. He's away. Gives it off, finds a teammate. It was actually Taylor. There you go to the Harper now. Fothergill goes inside forward 50. Doesn't find Flaherty on the full. The pressure from Southport in the back half. Headland gets it out wide. Now has Penoza. They go off to Keel, and they settle it now to Butterick at half back. Gives it inside now. Finds a player there inside. Through the middle of the ground they go. And up towards forward 50. Good punch from defence. And they'll probably rush this one through, and they do. That was Mackay. Or Mackay. Depends how you want to pronounce it. He just rushed the behind there. They go out quickly. They find a player here in Martin. XS-NFL player. With the Woodville West Torrens side. There's Howes. Has to go very wide. There's a target out there. This time it's Bryant. Just forced to go back. He's corralled. This time goes backwards to Simpson. And he goes long to the outer wing. Dowdle's there. He lays a good tackle, but Southport maintain possession, although they give it up now. Harper just kicks it very quickly. Headland was underneath it. Run inside forward 50. I think it might be Baker, and goes for goal. And Baker it is that kicks a very important goal for the Canberra Demons. And that's their second for the afternoon.
Yeah, and it's that man Harper again, and we've called him quite a few times. I reckon we'll fight. We'll definitely have some stats for you at quarter time, and we'll let you know how he's going. But he's definitely the ball winner on the ground at the moment. That was well done. He gave it off to Bruce, and Bruce, that was a great play there to give it off to Baker, and beautiful kick for goal.
Dead-eye Dick was Jack Baker. Harper, he's already had 4 disposals. Taylor's had 4 as well. They are leading the Canberra Demons.
It'll be interesting if they put someone on him.
Thurlow, he went up high. Boston, he was manhandled there by Hayne, and Hayne won it. There's that man Harper. Goes inside forward 50. Good set of dukes from Aaron Bruce. And kept it up off the ground, and that's a good mark. And he can go back and shoot for goal.
Yeah, they got a good combination, Harper and Bruce then. And they just set up the last goal when they gave. He's killing them in the clearances, centre clearances.
So Bruce,
long way to go though.
There he is. Shoots from 40, kicks it high, kicks it long, kicks it straight.
Beautiful kick.
So the impetus of getting away to a good start has been met in spades. So Ben Waite, the Canberra Demons coach, he'll be happy with the way that they've actually really come to play in this contest this afternoon.
Yeah, and I said before, the ruck duel is going to be interesting. Good to see Turlo back into the ruck with Southport. It just seems that when he's in the centre square setup, they seem to win a few more taps. That's what they need to do, because at the moment Harper's winning a lot of the ball out of the centre.
So 3-1-19 playing 1-4-10, the Canberra Demons. They hold sway just at the moment. The skew in the ruck for Canberra. He didn't even contest. Taylor had his handball smothered. Thurlow, he just busts through, gets it inside forward 50. Screech, he roved it off hands in the contest, kicks it towards goal, and it's a minor score. Gee, I wouldn't like Fraser Thurlow trying to run full bore at me.
Oh, look, he's a big unit, and that's great that he takes them on, because if he takes them on, I don't think too many guys are going to tackle him.
Good second effort out of the ruck contest, so that's what you like your big big men to do, have those second and third efforts, because that's when they become really dangerous, and those freight trains coming through.
Yeah, Southport letting themselves down. They're kicking a lot of points, Mark. You know, they need to try and get goals. They've, out of 6 scoring shots, they've got 1 goal 5.
So the kick came in, found Askew. Looking for a target up there in Martin. Couldn't quite take it, but they still managed to hold on to it. Here's Askew. He's going to be that mobile ruckman. It was a good kick. Finds a teammate who in turn brings it, looking for Baker. Headland's there. Baker just gets it up off the ground, gives it off quickly to O'Connell, but there's a free kick, and I think it's for a trip. Will advantage be paid? No. And the free kick will come back, and it goes against Ben Headland because he just put a hand out, and the umpire deemed that he just infringed Baker by grabbing his leg.
Yeah, now look, the umpire was right on the spot there, but I want to mention Skew, because you said he's the mobile ruckman. He's almost like a ruck rover playing in the ruck, and if anything, he can run away from Turlo then, and Turlo was back in the centre square, so he's going to have to watch that. They'll use Skew every chance they get.
And he kicks very well like he did last time, and he's got 2. Does Jack Baker, and the Canberra Demons extend their lead.
Great start by them, Mark, and we spoke before the game how important it is to get off to a good start, especially in conditions like this, and great stuff there. The away team, obviously, and here to play, there's no doubt about it.
4-1-25, the Canberra Demons. Southport, 1-5-11. And Sam Askew. I think we called him Skew, but Askew. A bit like a sneeze.
I was just about to go a chew.
Ball back in the middle. Askew doesn't contest again, but he manages to get it again and get the clearance. So it's clever play. Southport had to fix that up, but good work there by Ben Headland. Just taking a contested mark. Southport, they can open it up now. Short is Penoza. He's got the middle of the ground.
This is when they've got to go to Turlo now, because he's going to beat Skew every chance in the air, and they've got to take advantage of that.
They need to isolate him. They find, though, at half forward on the outer side, that's Anthony. Anthony goes long, looking for a target there. Getting a hand on it was Howells. Boston gets a handball back to Screech, to Thurlow, back to Screech. They're just hemmed in on the pocket. The kick is a very ordinary one, but making it look good, putting out the hands, must have had super glue on them, was Trask. And he ran into an open goal. It didn't look pretty, the kick, but Darcy Trask, the slips catch, got him a goal.
Look, that was great play. And you mentioned Glenn Screech. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how it gets there, as long as it gets there. And the most important thing he did then was so undisciplined. He could have had a shot and snap over his left shoulder, but he did the team thing. That's what the coach wants. Just put it in the middle or put it in the goal square and see what happens. They get a goal out of it. And they needed this goal because they're kicking a lot of behinds at the moment, and they wouldn't want them to come back to haunt them. So good fight back by the Sharks.
So Dowdle's back in the ruck. Southport will come away with the clearance. McKenzie it is. Goes with the left foot to half forward. Coming out to meet it well was the Canberra Demons player in Collins. Gives it off quickly to Hayne. Off to Martin, to Howells. Now the chain of handballs ends up back with Hayne. They come out looking for O'Connell. I was going to say he kept it in. I thought he did well, but the boundary umpire was closer than us, had a better angle, and it obviously did go out of play.
Yeah, both sides still making a lot of changes, Mark, and great tactics by both coaches.
So the two big ruckmen go at it. Budrick, he got it down out of the contest. Wilson couldn't handle it. His opposite number that time in Martin could. O'Connell now to Fothergill. They go inside forward 50. It goes over the top, fortuitously over the top of Headland, who took front spot and fell almost into the arms of Askew.
Yeah, well done by Daniel O'Connell then to get the beautiful handball. He got out to Nicholas Fothergill, and I don't know if he was actually going for him then, but look, we'll just say he did a beautiful kick, and it's given him opportunity for goal.
In the stat sheet, it'll show that he hit an effective target inside forward 50, and that's all that counts. Sam Askew goes for goal. It looks good off the boot. A beautiful technique and a beautiful result for the Canberra Demons.
Just a great kick and great setup, wasn't it? It was a magnificent kick. This game's really... this is going to be a great game today. This game's just going from end to end and goal to goal. And you know what I love about it? Both sides are just attacking and they're just playing old-style footy. There's none of this tagging stuff or putting a loose man back in defence and this loose man in the other side. It's good old football. Let's just get out there and have a contest. And that's what I love about the start.
And I think both sides have got mosquito fleets.
They have.
And they really take the opportunity to really run hard when they get a chance to have possession of the ball. So what we will see, I think, is plenty of legwork up and down the ground for both sides. Ball back in the middle. Give that one to Dowdle. Getting in there was McKay. Gives it off. Finds a player that time in Camp. The ball ends up with McKay, and they go out wide, and they find Harper.
They seem to be like playing on that wing mark, the Canberra Demons, and that might be a tactic they're using.
A good contested mark there by Askew.
Get it in quick.
In front of Headland. The kick did come in quickly, but it didn't come in as well as they would have liked, and Crowley mops it up. Crowley, famous name for Southport, gives it off. Finds Holland. Holland tries to go to another one of his mosquito fleet in Clements. And Rob Clements couldn't race the ball quick enough to the boundary line to catch it. And it's out of bounds.
Disposal is going to be so crucial today. And that could be, that's going to make a difference to the side winning. And they turn the ball over. And when you turn it over, you've got to make use of every advantage you get.
So the big man there in Stevenson, he got the ruck, but the ball went Canberra Demons' way. Crowley, looks like he might be first, but Bruce just bumps him off the ball. At time there is Bryant. He was almost taken out of it, but managed to get it out to Bruce. He's under extreme pressure. Coming through cleanly was Boston. That's a bit of a difference. And he goes out towards Keel. Fothergill was right there. Does well. Now he's in control of it. He's going to have to tap it out because he might be in trouble. The umpire. He says no. He was having a go. And I think Keel was trying to just hold it underneath there to try and get the decision, but the umpire wasn't conned into it.
Yeah, no, he did that. That's experienced by Keel, and that was brilliant what he tried to do.
Fothergill just belts it forward inside forward 50 on the left foot. Crowley with the spoil. Laying good tackle there was a Southport defence. They're under pressure. They might turn it over. O'Connell gives it off to Bryant. And the ball will be rushed by Penoza over.
Well done by O'Connell then, because that's what coaches love. They're forwards, they've got to be defenders as well, and that's a perfect example. Well done, O'Connell.
So it was just the 1 point for the Canberra Demons. And they get another chance here because this is Ben Howes with the ball. Some 60 metres out from goal. Southport are flooded back in numbers, but there's a short kick comes in. It didn't go far enough, says the umpire. I was about to say he took a mark, but the umpire wasn't going to agree with me. And laying the tackle there was Holland.
Well, the umpire was right on the spot there, so, that's his call.
So Dowdle got it down there. Taking almost a high one, you'd say, was the Canberra Demons player. But instead, he's been penalised for holding the ball.
Yeah, in fairness to the umpire was on the other side of him, and he actually couldn't see it then. So
Trask
fortunate.
Was a beneficiary. Gives it off to Keel. It was a good kick. Goes off to Sard.
Great kick.
Good by foot there to Anthony. Anthony just flips it over the top there. Clements bumped off it as he kicked it, but still effective inside forward 50 and finds the big man in Thurlow.
That was good play by Southport. The Canberra Demons didn't touch that ball once then from back 50 to their forward 50. So if they can do that, that's sort of team-orientated goals. Good play.
Jason Burge, former captain of Southport, he was calling for it. Give it to him. So the big man, Thurlow, didn't want to get in a big wrestle too much with Frail today. He's matched up on at the moment. But Thurlow on this occasion, he'll shoot for goal. Tight angle. Starts it off to the right and it fades just a little bit more. And only a minor score. So plenty of shots at goal, and just not getting the result that they require and Coach Nathan Bock requires.
What a luxury of being able to put him in the forward line as well as the ruck, because if they can get the ball in quick to him, I don't think anyone's going to beat him with a one-on-one.
So McKay kicked it in and going very high and indiscriminately. There was Baker, and he'll give away the free kick. It'll go the way of Crowley.
Oh,
And
that's a 50.
And that'll go against Harrison Bryant. And as he gave the ball back to Crowley, Crowley feigned that he was going to kick it, and then Bryant encroached. And so 50 metres, that's a costly 50-metre penalty because Crowley, not a noted goal kicker, mind you, will go back and shoot for goal.
Yeah, and Southport are just starting to look okay in the last 5 minutes, but this, again, they've got to consolidate and kick goals.
Comes in, 45-degree angle, and I said not a noted goal kicker, and that's probably why. He just kicked it very tentatively, like he was almost poking at it rather than trying to kick through the football, and as a result, just didn't get it sweetly off the boot, and 1 point was the result there. So 2-7-19, Canberra 5-2-32. They've got possession of the ball. There's Big Dowdle off to Harper. He's crunched in the tackle, and it was Bock that laid the tackle, but held on to him too long after the ball had left his possession. So Harper will take the free kick, and Dyson Budrick is the one that gives away the 50-metre penalty. And both coaches, a little bit of ill discipline, won't be happy just to give opportunities to the opposition at this early stage of the game.
No, that's right, because the contest is too even at the moment. So anything silly, it could cost you late in the game. So they've got to make use of this now, Canberra Demons.
So Harper, that's his 8th champion data disposal. Probably not his best because the ball goes over the back there. They mop it up. Here's Crowley again. I'm sure he won't try and just dink it like he did before, although he almost did. Although he's looking for Bock in a bit more of a target type sense, and Dowdle, he just chimed in. Couldn't take the mark, and the ball spills out over the boundary line.
I actually like Dowdle in the ruck against Durlow because, they got similar bodies, so I like that.
Well, here's Stevenson, another bit of tall timber for Southport. Just got the hand on it, couldn't quite affect it. Butterick to Screech, now off to Hector, now to Boston. Goes around the left, gets a good purchase on it, and there first in front of Clements was McKay. As we hear the siren sound, a bit of frayed tempers.
Bit going on here on the side.
A few frayed tempers there, and a bit of frustration, a bit of the heat starting to take a bit of effect. But regardless, it's going to be the Canberra Demons that take a lead into quarter time. As I think we might see this push and shove just break up a little in the ensuing couple of seconds, as both sides will be more intent on going to their huddle to regroup. And what's been an interesting first quarter, Gilbert McAdam.
It has, and I was just about to say there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what that means to me? That means the players are switched on, and there's a bit of motion and there's a bit of feeling, and they obviously want to win the game. So we're in for a good contest. But look, that was a great quarter, Mark. 9 scoring shots for Southport to 7 for the visitors in the Demons. So the Southport have let themselves down with the disposals, especially with the goal kicking. But just looking at some of the better players for both sides, for the Southport, Boston, he's going really well. He's had 8 kicks and 1 handball, 9 disposals, and he's had a terrific start so far. Turlow, he's been interesting. He's not only getting the taps, but he's getting some possession. So he's had 5 disposals, 4 kicks and 1.
13 hit-outs too, so he's been dominant in the ruck.
That's very crucial for the Canberra Demons. Harper, you've called him that many times, and he's had a terrific game so far in the midfield. He's had 6 kicks, 2 handballs, so he's had 8 disposals. Skew, I like him. It's not Skew, it's a chew or a Skew. But look, he's been terrific because he set it up in the forward line in terms of the goals. So all in all, it's everything's even at the moment. Very even game.
Yeah, disposals just going the Canberra Demons way, 83-82, inside 50s. That probably tells a bit more of a tale. 15-9 going Canberra Demons way. So they have had the ball inside their forward 50 and been able to transport it their way a little bit more. But it is those Demons, the Canberra Demons, that lead at quarter time. It is 5-2-32 to Southport Sharks 2-7-19. We might take a little bit of a break, Gilbert, catch our breath and come back here at Fankhauser Reserve this second quarter down here on the beautiful Gold Coast for the game between the Canberra Demons and the home team, the Southport Sharks.
Has it got the... Oh.
Welcome back here to Fankhauser Reserve. It's quarter time here in this round 2 NEAFL clash between the Southport Sharks and the Canberra Demons. The home side do trail though. They trail 5-32, 2-7-19. So they are adrift, the Southport Sharks, of the Canberra Demons by the 13 points. My name is Mark Kennedy and I am joined by the mercurial one, Gilbert McAdam, a former AFL champion and SANFL Magarey medalist. And Gilbert, it was a great first quarter that we saw here, and beautiful Southport.
Yeah, look, magnificent day, and you wouldn't want to be anywhere else to play a game of footy. But interesting, the clearances is the Demons, because the game's been so free-flowing that we haven't seen too many, but the tackling's 3 for the Demons to 9 to Southport. That tells me that they're chasing more.
All those stats thanks to champion data. As we see the second quarter get underway, going high was Dowdle, and they still managed to win the ball down, did the Canberra Demons. It was Taylor and Harper involved there, both prominent in the first quarter. Hector almost got a high. McKenna goes up forward, has Bock. It just doesn't quite reach him. He gets it on the bounce now. He wheels around, kicks it short. Can't quite find the target of Wilson. And Howes it is that mops it up for the Demons, and they can bring it away. But it was a promising build-up there.
Great play by Wilson to back it up. He almost got the old 1-2 then.
So the kick came out of defence. Didn't quite find the target. Boston has his handball smothered. Harper's there. He's dragged down. But the umpire says nothing there. Ends up with Mackenzie, who got it from Headland. And they can go back and settle because that's Wilson involved again.
Good start by Mackenzie there. He's got a couple of quick ones setting them up from the defence.
He looks like the quintessential Gold Coaster as Mackenzie.
Hard
a
nut.
Beautiful tan.
Looks like a hard nut. Looks like he's tough.
And the Demons, they mop it up again.
He plays tough. Don't worry about that.
Just missing the target there with Bernasconi. Come out. Here's Taylor. I like the cut of his jib, although that handball is probably not the best. Coming through there was Mackenzie again. Goes inside forward 50. Anthony just picks it up beautifully. It's it off to Sardi's. Not sure which way to go. This way, that way. Now finds a bit of space to put it in. Burge can run onto it. Just fumbles where he probably just needed to be clean, even though the disposal wasn't great. And Canberra, they can mop up here. Howes goes around the corner and just going over the top of Plemming. They still might come away with it. Baker, he had 2 first quarter goals. Plemming involved again. O'Connell's there. So's Headland for Southport. They have a wrestle trying to find the ball. Headland, he wins it. Just tries to get it forward his way. Now Baker gets it off to Dowder. They feed the ball out quickly. Chain of hands ends up with Hayne, and he can kick it quite nicely to it was
well done.
Flaherty. He dropped it but just towed it forward inside forward 50. Here's Buckle. Story to tell about him shortly. Bruce, he picked it up, goes around the corner. Which way is it going to bounce? It doesn't bounce the right way if you're a Demon supporter, because it goes through for 1 point.
Yeah, I think that one was the wrong and not the leggy. That one, it went the other way. But what a good rebound there by the Demons.
They had to work very hard. The ball comes out of Southport's defence, finds Jason Burge, just chips it and does it nicely, although that was Holland who couldn't take it cleanly. Just goes hard at the ball again. Right there was O'Connell with him. Now McKay, and just copping a high one there was Bryant, and he will take the free kick.
Well done by O'Connell then, because he put his body on the line for the team then, and you know what? That created a turnover. That's brilliant play, O'Connell.
Kick short as Bryant, looking for a target. It might have been Big Flaherty, and it was. Just you're not going to kick it or going to take too many marks if they kicking it at your toes.
See how Southport got the good start early again, and they couldn't consolidate with the goal. All of a sudden it goes down, and Canberra Demons, it just hurts you, especially if they get a goal from here.
The ball in the forward line, Flaherty and Thurlow. He takes it out of the ruck. But the umpire says throw it in again, thank you. It was a short boundary throw in.
Good call. I like that when the umpires do that.
It creates a fair contest.
It does.
To bring it back. It's a bit better, that one, on both sides. Thurlow has it. Taylor, he roved it beautifully. Gives it off to the big man in Dowdle. He was tackled.
Ooh,
Keel just squeezes one out. Headland has his handball smothered. They're keeping it in the area, the Demons. And Dowdle, and gives the free kick away, and Headland will take it. So Luck's of fortune to some respect. Thurlow, the easiest of marks. Just kicks it, the big man. Long way from your hand to your foot when you're that tall. But he does it with aplomb. Kicks it to Anthony, and now to Hector. Kick wasn't a good one there. Burge just takes it on the first occasion that time. Does a 360. Gives it to Headland. Former captain to captain. He knows where his bread's buttered. And they go onto the outer side. Finds Trask. And now to Crowley.
That was good that he didn't just kick the ball anywhere then, and they kept possession and maintained it.
They kick it short. This is Donnelly. So right in the centre square. Just backwards of the centre circle. He'll go to Thurlow. Just coming towards the clubhouse side. Still inside the centre square. A little chip short. Has Burge. He might be able to go, but no, decides to go back. Canberra have just flooded back in numbers.
Yeah, they've done well there.
There is nobody behind Hayne, who's on the mark currently.
I think because Southport are kicking across the ground, it's given them time to run back as well, Mark, which isn't helping them.
Certainly is. Southport, they come away there. Holland. Boston. Doesn't quite hit the target. Clements to Keel. Gets around his opponent, but only just inside forward 50. Goes to Boston. He's good by foot. We'll see how good if he's going for goal. And didn't quite make the distance. And Bernasconi could just kill it for one behind.
Yeah, good punch there. Very disciplined play by Bernasconi.
And the kick was not a good one in from McKay. And the young man, he turned it over and found another young man in Dyson Butterick. Fair play. This kid, I think he was talked about in some circles as a potential AFL rookie list candidate. Didn't quite end up that way, so he's butted up again with the Southport Sharks. Product of the Gold Coast Suns Academy.
He's definitely a solid young boy, isn't he?
So he will line up directly in front. It's a matter of accuracy. And it is that absolute matter of accuracy that is in question because it slid across the face for one behind.
Yeah, you've heard me say it a few times, Mark, but I'm going to keep saying it because they can't kick goals. And Southport, they have to start kicking goals.
And the kick again wasn't a good one. It went out of bounds on the full. And Thurlow will be the recipient. So Canberra, they're giving the Southport Sharks a few opportunities. Bock is the target.
Yeah, strong.
Just too strong in the contest. Quickly gives the ball off. And just taking advantage of it is James Holland. And he kicks his first. But I think the kudos and the assist will certainly go down to Nathan Bock on that one.
Yeah, look, that was just experience there, and he just used his body well, but how good was the hands? That was brilliant hands there, just unselfish. He could have went back and had a shot, but he gave the handball off, so well done. And one thing I want to point out is the Canberra Demons, they turned the ball over twice in their back 50 then, and they gave Southport an opportunity to kick a goal then because Turlo had the kick from here and the other one when they kicked the ball out from the behind. They can't afford to do that because they're going to let Southport back in it.
Weight of numbers will eventually kill you. So the ball back in the middle. Umpire deems it a fair bounce. It was right on the cusp, I suppose, of being called back. And now we have a scrimmage and it'll be... I was going to say it'll be balled up again, but there's a free kick being picked out by the umpire. And a push in the back and it'll go the way of Boston. Gives it off to Wilson. He goes inside forward 50. And just with a bit of the extra height there, reaching up and plucking it from behind.
That kick from Boston, that went about 60-metre drop punt. He just tapped it.
It was Collins who got it. And now the ball end up now with Martin. And he's a good kick of the football is Andrew Boston.
The free kick off the ball.
There is a free kick off the ball and it'll go back the other way right there and it'll go the way of Trask.
Probably wasn't a lot in it, but
I must admit I didn't see it. He just pops the ball up, screeches the target. Coming through there, trying to get it on the boot there was Sard. And tried to make something almost out of nothing. And just manages to squeeze it through for a point there.
Yeah, interesting. Rowan McLaughlin, he was the one that got penalised from the umpire then, and yeah, I don't think there was a lot in it. I know the ball was a long way off, but wasn't a lot in it.
Donnelly just got a fist in there, force the ball over the boundary line to keep the pressure on the Canberra Demons, because Southport, they're pressing. Askew was in the ruck. O'Connell, he dispossessed his opponent. Now Canberra can come away. Lagana to Frail.
Hands.
Now to Martin. Through the middle of the ground they go. They kick it long, looking for Bruce. He just kicked it long, turned his man around and came back to meet the ball and took what eventually was an uncontested mark. So very good counter-attack by the Melbourne Demons.
Yeah, that was brilliant play and well set up by Taylor then, and that was just a brilliant turnover of the ball. And I'll also mention Sammy Martin then, because he helped create that as well, and they need to kick this goal, the Canberra Demons.
So Bruce, he's got one. He'll kick from directly in front. He starts it off to the left. Does it come back enough? I think it does. They like it, and so does the umpire. So the Demons hit back once again, just to push that margin out a little bit further there. They move to 6-3-39 to Southport 3-10-28. The margin now is 11 points, and we've played just about 10 and a half minutes of this second quarter, Gilbert McAdam.
Yeah, both sides lost by 10 points last week. Isn't that interesting? 11-point difference. They're 6th and 7th on the spot. That's very even, isn't it? And that's what's happening. That's how it is at the moment. Any side is capable of beating anyone on any given day, you'd think.
And Canberra Demons are born from the Eastlake Football Club, and they've Ainsley no longer a participant, so they picked up quite a few Ainsley players, and they've gained a fair bit of strength. And last year they didn't win too many, but they look like they're going to be more than competitive this year. Season 2016. This is captain for Southport, Ben Hedlund, with the ball. Goes up. Good set of jukes there from Clements. Turns around quickly. The ball goes to half forward, but standing tall there was McKay.
I like this McKay. You've called him a few times, Mark. He certainly knows how to read the play.
Here's another one that does in Fothergill. Canberra, they'll retain possession, although the handball was a little awry. And the ball ends up now with Butterick. They've just opened it up. They go further afield, out to the outer side. That's Trask, goes long. Thurlow was there, but at the back there was Screech. Went for the high free kick, couldn't get it. Thurlow just tries to soccer it around the corner. Not something you see a big man should do, or you'd want as a coach to do too often. The Demons cleared, but it only ended up as far as Hector, and Hector got into Wilson. Wilson can find a short target, and he can. He found it beautifully. The problem was it was the opposition he found. Taylor.
He's been good in defence for the Canberra Demons.
And Lagana, he got the ball, then coming through middle of the ground there was McKay, and the hit-up target there was Bruce. So just on the centre wing, he goes inside forward 50. O'Connell is down there, just bustling him off the ball there was Thine. And the ball goes out of bounds. So Canberra, they're in their attacking area, clubhouse side, 25 metres around from their goal.
Yeah, I like Bruce. He's a big unit, isn't he, Mark? But you know what? I'd like to see him take marks maybe back inside the forward 50, because he can kick goals as well. So they have to try and get him back in the forward 50, I reckon.
Coming over the top there for Southport was Stevenson. Ball stays in. Hector. And under a bit of pressure there from Bruce. So good effort there from the Demons forwards, just to try and keep that pressure on their forward line. Try and create extra scoring opportunities.
This is where the small men come into play here.
So Bruce, he was in the ruck. Stevenson, much bigger man. Here's Butterick. Goes on the left, just drills it low. It'll end up with McKay though for the Demons. They can reload, but not for long, because that absolutely shanked it. Like the way I hit a one wood off the tee.
Off the golf,
just off the side there, and out of bounds on the full. And
well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just say it come off the wrong side.
Ericsson.
That's dangerous, though.
Dangerous kick. Came off, though. Crowley was the man who took the good mark. Gives it back off to Ericsson. He puts the skates on. A couple of bounces there. Goes to defensive 50. The kick was just not really with any great purpose. You're kicking to a small man in Burge. Canberra, they just got it back inside their forward 50, and Crowley, he was forced to mop it up yet again.
Yeah, both sides are just rushing a bit too much, I reckon. They've actually got a bit more time where they can steady and just have a look where their teammates are.
And there's a very good mark there by Nick Hayne. Just edged Hector under the ball and put the one hand up and took it on the second occasion. So well done to him. He puts it inside forward 50. Bruce, he went to meet the ball, couldn't quite take it. A handball of his. Found Headland. Headland's handball couldn't find a target either. Canberra, they're under pressure. Just trying to work it through. Burge gets the handball back inside. I'm not sure how good that one was. And getting a free kick there was Simpson.
Good pressure, though, for the Canberra Demons to keep it inside or within their 50-metre range anyway.
A short inside forward 50 finds a target, and that's O'Connell. So not the biggest player. He's that mid-sized forward is O'Connell, but he found enough space in which to be hit on the chest with the target. So he'll be able to go back and shoot for goal. The angle's not too slight, and he'll have to kick all of 40 metres.
Yeah, it should be straightforward for him, but a lot of, not just him, a lot of the players are missing easy goals today.
Great, and he doesn't miss that easy opportunity, according to Gilbert McAdam. And O'Connell kicks his first for the afternoon, and that is the 7th for the Canberra Demons. They've extended their lead now to 17 points, 7-3-45. And Southport, 3-10-28. 13 scoring shots to Southport, just 10 to the Canberra Demons. So those what you said, those scoring shots earlier on, the errant kicking, coming back to haunt Southport just at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. They have to... The thing that they need to do is they kick a goal, but they need to string a few together. They can't seem to string a few together because Canberra seem to answer every time they get one.
So Thurlow, who's in the ruck. We've played about 16 minutes of this second quarter. Hayne tries to come away with it. Bryan, he just tried to inject himself, but Southport good enough to mop it up. Mackenzie it is. Again, a 50-50 kick to a small. They're looking for Clements there, and the Demons can mop it up here. Here's Taylor. Bit of sideshow bob action on his hair. Kicks it off to Dowdle. Here's to O'Connell. O'Connell goes deep, looking for Flaherty. Goes over the top of him. And not a bad result in the finish because it just ran over the boundary line next to the point post. So they'll be able to reload from a stoppage to look for another score for them.
Yeah, and it's that man Taylor, you know. He doesn't only read the ball well, but he rebounds and he runs. He's got it from the back line. Now he's inside the forward 50 waiting for the crumb, and, you know, that's his value.
So Skew and Thurlow. Hector, he's wrapped up, managed to get the handball out. Here's Mackenzie, has his kick smothered by that man
Taylor. He ran 50 metres after he clicked that ball to make a smother inside the forward 50. That's just great team play by him, Mark. I had to mention it's brilliant.
He's had 4 clearances to go with his 11 disposals so far, so very busy around the contest. Boston, he's been busy also. Kicks the ball beautifully on his non-preferred left, up towards looking for the big man in Stevenson, and up to the task there was Frail.
You know what the Canberra Demons are doing? Every time the ball goes inside the forward 50, they just run, and they're forcing all the Southport players to move up the ground. So when they get the ball in the turnover, there's no one to kick the ball to for Southport.
So Stevenson, he won the tap, but Canberra come away with it again. Collins to Hayne. Hayne forced hurriedly on the left foot. Standing up high with Southport defence, but ball comes down to Baker. Baker just kicks it very high himself. And McLaughlin was, or Flaherty I should say, was the target. And the ball runs out of play. So still deep in Canberra territory. 20 metres around from a goal for them. Should they be able to engineer something? Askew and Stevenson. The shorter ruckman there. So Stevenson looked like he was held. Boston zigs, zags, then decides to kick. He's got nobody there. And if that goes out of bounds, that's just about going to be deliberate. And the umpire agrees.
He's paid it. That was a good call by the umpire.
It was. And Canberra, they were able to reload quickly. And the ball now is with Hayne. So the captain, he got it from Baker. And he'll have to kick it from a difficult angle. But not impossible.
Yeah, I reckon put it to the goal square and let him go for it. That's the discipline thing.
Just don't have the tall timber down there. That's my only concern. He kicks it high, trying to drift it back on the breeze. But did go just across the face. Wasn't a bad effort, but not good enough according to the goal umpire.
Isn't it when we become older, we think more of a team than individual? I reckon when we were playing, we would have had a shot. You would have had a shot. I would have had a shot.
I would have backed myself. Confidence wasn't a shortcoming for myself, or probably you either, Gilbert. So McKenzie goes out to the back pocket.
Yeah, no, I like it when they have shots like that because, you know, that's a skill in the game, isn't it? It's a great skill. To be able to kick a goal on a boundary is a skill.
So Anthony just drops what he should have taken from Burge. Penoza feigns to handball. Burge has got it again. He's forced to kick it under pressure. He'll come off on this occasion, Hector. Now they've got a bit of space to run. McKenzie has it. Goes up the middle. The kick was just off target.
Tackle.
And laying a good tackle there was Collins. And the ball does spill out. So I thought it might have been thrown up. And getting in there again, the Demons, they're going to come away with it. So doing well there. Ends up with Harper. He got it from the man Martin. Now with Bryant. The ball ends up with Lagana. Just kicks it almost off one step. It's going to have to take a good bounce. It doesn't because it was offline. And 1 point results yet again.
Mark, just quickly, both sides still making the changes. And, yeah, they're obviously thinking about the hot weather. So good tactics by both coaches.
So Headland kicks it short. Again, they look for that mosquito fleet. Headland gets it back this time from Clements. They go long up the wing. Good set of hands. Well judged by Jack Anthony. So on that outer wing. Goes further afield and wider. Bock is the target. Right there with him was Bernasconi. Regathers Bock and pushes Bernasconi off. Inside forward 50 now. I was going to say good body position by McLaughlin.
Oh,
but his opposite number.
That's almost a 50-metre penalty because Bock went to pick up the ball and he's been hip and shouldered.
And it is
50. It is a 50.
So it'll go the way of Joel Stevenson, arresting Ruckman. And Stevenson will just about put the glasses down here and will kick his first. And it made an easier proposition than it otherwise would have been. And again, just that little bit of ill discipline just pushes Southport back into that contest a bit closer, where if they'd kicked the point and taken the ball down the other end of the field again, we could be saying, you know, again. Canberra Demons, good work there, but they just give up those little bits and pieces to the game of inches, Gilbert McAdam.
Nah, and well done by Bock then too to obviously get the ball. And after he kicked the ball, the good thing that Bock did then was he actually ran in. He almost crumbed it from his kick, but more importantly, you know, he was helping his teammate, and he got infringed then, and that's why the 50-metre penalty was paid. And more importantly, they needed that goal. They really needed that goal, Southport.
So 13 points the margin, 22 and a half minutes gone, second quarter, approaching half-time. Dowdle goes over the top. Boston just reached the hand in. Keel just squeezes a handball out. Butterick comes through. He'll gather. He under pressure though. He's almost coughs it up. They're working hard. McKenzie's in there, but now Canberra. They come away. Fothergill. He was on the end of the chain of handballs. It goes long towards goal.
Brilliant. How good was that?
They make them pay. And Nick Fothergill gets his first for the afternoon. And there is the answer that they wanted. The Demons, and a good piece of pressure around the contest forced the turnover, which brought about that goal. Yeah,
and it's what I said before is every time Southport get a goal, Canberra Demons always answer with another goal. What Southport need to do, they need to string 2 or 3 in a row just to put a bit of scoreboard pressure on them. But you know what? How good was the pressure by the Canberra Demons players to force that ball over? That's why they turned it over, because they had numbers. They had numbers at the ball, whereas the Southport players were running away from the ball. You can't afford to do that, Mark. You've got to set it up first, then you can run away.
Stevenson went high as we see the restart again. Canberra, they come away with it again. Here the ball ends up with Martin. He can kick it long inside forward 50. It's going to be a one-on-one contest. Bruce is there. Headland's there also. Crowley just sticks the mid out there again. He's under pressure.
Tackle.
Almost coughs it up, but on this occasion, just infringing was Bruce, and Crowley can come away with it. Off to Wilson, now to Headland. At half back, goes short.
Ooh.
Anthony couldn't take it, so again, not too much surety with hand or foot at different points of the game. And now Bernasconi gets it off to O'Connell on that outer wing. Goes quickly, has one in board. Here's the man Harper. He's been busy, as we know. That's his 16th champion data possession coming up. Goes long inside 50 again. No mark there. Headland can mop it up for Southport. Repels. Has Keel out there. He's the only one. He was 1-on-2. Manages to win the day. Boston comes to lend some support. They can go back down that outer wing. Good kick. Finds Anthony. Was actually punched away from him. So very good work from the Demons defender. And that was McLaughlin.
Canberra Demons, they just look a bit more composed. And they're not rushing, whereas Southport seems to be rushing all the time. Maybe it's the decision-making of the players.
So Boston got it off to Holland. Holland, it's a kick hurriedly up forward. And it'll be about 55 metres out from the Southport goal on the outer side. We'll see a throw-in.
Just quickly, Mark, they need a goal just before half-time just to get that score a bit more even.
Well, they are 19 points adrift.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be a lot of time left, I'd say. So they really need this goal to go into the halftime break.
Just about 25 and a half minutes gone. They have a chance now. Ball smothered. So well done by Canberra again.
Yeah.
They're just applying the pressure. And the part I like, Gilbert, is the fact that they're prepared to back themselves when they win the ball to go hard as they possibly can. That youthful exuberance, I think it is, to go, you know what, we're prepared to take some risks.
Yeah, but they run in numbers. There's 3 or 4 of them, not 1 or 2.
So Screech won the ball from that contest, just kicks it around the corner on his left. And right there at front spot there was Nathan Bock, and he can go back and shoot for goal. He's a bit of the X factor, is Nathan Bock. He hasn't played a lot of football in the last few years, as we know.
Yes.
But if he's in half-decent nick, he's still going to be a dangerous proposition for any opposition.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to say we need the captain's goal, but it's not the captain, it's the coach's goal.
And the coach comes in and kicks truly. So a badly needed goal for Southport. Narrows the margin back down to 13 points. Now 26 and a half minutes gone. We are coming up towards the shadows of the second quarter. The halftime siren, I wouldn't have thought would be too far away, and a crucial goal.
Yeah, well, there's been a few goals kicked this quarter, more than the first quarter, Mark, so that's probably why it's a bit more of a longer quarter. But, gee, what a contest we have. And like I said, Southport, they needed that goal, but there might even be time for them to get another one. I don't think we've called them 2 goals in a row so far, Mark, so that's what they need to do.
Well, certainly not Southport.
That's who I'm talking about, yeah.
That's right. So we had 7 goals in the first quarter. We've only had 6 in this quarter.
Oh,
so
sorry.
We've got a bit of a run there.
Maybe it's the behinds that it looks like it.
Mounting up. Coming through. They're sharking it nicely. A bit of a play on words was the Sharks' Wilson. Ball at half forward. Mosquito Fleet trying to mop it up. This bloke's not a mosquito, and that's Nathan Bock. He goes around the corner.
That's
it's
a good
high. Kick. It was a big push there from Glenn Screech, and he gives away the free kick. And that's just something that they don't really need to do, is give away those cheap free kicks as Collins mops up.
Don't backmen hate it when the ball goes sky high, because they don't know where the opponents are.
Here's Harper. You just kick it short. Off to Bernasconi. Didn't go the required distance. Bernasconi kicks it down the line. And just that bit of pressure from Southport was good, because it just forced the kick a little bit wider, goes out of bounds on the full. And it will be Headland who takes the free kick, the captain. Let's get the interchange steward out of the way there. There's the half forward. Anthony's the target. He's coming late. But a good set of hands there from Bernasconi. Liked his game so far, actually.
He's been strong in defence, hasn't he?
And goes short, has Martin there. Just missed out on Woodville West Torrens' side that played in the grand final in the SNFL last year, I believe.
Hey, Woodville West Torrens, the Eagles, have some sort of affiliation with Queensland. They seem to get a lot of Queensland players.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm certainly one of them.
You're one of them, that's
yes,
right.
I'm a product of Queensland and also Woodville West Torrens. As we hear the halftime siren go, it's enough about me though. But we obviously have a lot of good players in the NEAFL as a whole.
Phil Harper, that's a blast from the past.
Absolutely. Of course, the Adelaide Crows football manager. I think he is these days.
Yes.
And right now, though, we have a game on our hands, and what we do have, it is Southport. They are trailing the Canberra Demons. 5-10-40 are the Sharks, and the Demons, they are 8-5-53. It has been a very interesting contest, punctuated with Southport goals, but really, the real impetus has been going the Canberra Demons' way.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I've been impressed with them is obviously they're kicking these goals, but it's their pressure mark and their tackling and the pressure. But it's also these inside 50s, you know, and I think they dominated that in the first quarter, you know. So the inside 50s, 18, is that correct?
To Southport, and 30 to Canberra Demons. So that's a marked...
that's massive.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't afford to do that because, you know, you're just giving them more opportunities to score the goals, and that's been the difference in the game. But I just think around the ground, I reckon they're people like Harper are dominating more. You've called Taylor a few more times, and even that little Fothergill, and, you know, it just seems to be that you're calling more of the midfielders than the Southport midfielders at the moment.
Yeah, I'd suggest that that's probably the case. And disposals overall actually going Southport's way, 170 to 165. That what it says to me is
they're turning it over.
They're turning it over. The pressure from Canberra is very good, and the care at different points in time from Southport as well needs to be picked up to ensure that their side retains possession a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
But
well, that's it. Well said.
Well, let's have a little bit of a breather here at half-time. It is a good game here. It's a beautiful day here on the Gold Coast. We are here at Fankhauser Reserve, and it is the Canberra Demons holding sway by 13 points at half-time. Mark Kennedy and Gilbert McAdam, we will go and have a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with you for the second half. And the beautiful Gold Coast is the scene for this round 2 clash between the Southport Sharks and the Canberra Demons. It's half-time here, and it is the Canberra Demons, the away side, holding the advantage by 13 points. It is 8-5-53 to Southport 5-10-40. So it has been an enthralling contest. My name is Mark Kenham, joined by Gilbert McAdam, former St Kilda. I've got to get all these clubs right.
Brisbane Bears.
Where else have you been?
Oh, Central District.
Central Districts.
Technical.
In the SNFL. Of course, a Grogan medalist, and he is our expert commentator today. And Gilbert, it has been a fantastic contest so far in this first half.
Oh, look, it's been a great contest of footy, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm sure the spectators are. And it's great. You know what I love about this oval is there's actually all the cars go right around the. It brings back the old traditional of football, and I love it. I just feel like I've turned back the clock a little bit here in terms of how the setup is and the style of football they're playing. None of this zoning and all this sort of stuff. And I just love that they've just gone out and had a contest and just have a go, boys.
It really is that country versus city type mentality here. Of course, we are set up in the luxurious confines of this beautiful clubhouse here at Fankhauser Reserve. And of course, as you mentioned, we do have that country feel of the cars round the outside of the oval and so forth, and a beautiful deck out here. And these two sides are putting on a great spectacle. Real old school football. Run, carry, kick it to the big forwards up forward. So, it's been a very good contest. And the Canberra Demons, they have brought a pressure game to go with their mosquito fleet that really has put Southport under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where they're winning the game, through the midfield run, and they're prepared to run more, Mark, than the Southport guys are. And that's probably been the difference, in the game so far. And they actually look more composed, like I said, throughout the first half. Their disposal's a bit more better. They just look a bit more polished, whereas the Southport mobbers seem to be rushing a bit too much. But in saying all that, if there's a positive for Southport, they just keep hanging in there, and they just keep hanging in there, because I know they can't seem to string 2 or 3 in a row. That might change. You just never know. It might happen in the third quarter, the premiership quarter. But that's a positive for them, and that's what they've got to keep doing.
And of course, one of the big talking points for Southport is the fact that they've kicked 5 goals 10, and certainly it's not like Canberra have rushed all those behinds. No. It's really the fact that Southport have kicked inaccurately in front of goal with opportunities.
Yeah, that's right, and that's spot on, and that comes back to the skill level of both sides, and maybe that's an area that they need to work on. They obviously get the ball a lot of times, and they're just as good as the Canberra Demons in terms of getting the ball and getting it inside the forward 50, but Demons have got a better polish, and that's where Southport have to do it in this quarter. And if they want to win this game, they have to polish their skills up in this quarter.
And of course, there's been some good performance at both sides. Harper for the Canberra Demons and Martin and Hayne have been the real prolific ball winners, along with Taylor. And for Southport, Andrew Boston, he has been very, very good in the first half.
Very sure with him. I can see. I know he gave the game away, and I just see that he probably could have had maybe another club or another opportunity.
And that may come around. He's a young man as the ball gets underway for this second half of this contest. Hayne to Collins, goes back. They're sort of running into each other here, and they almost turn it over. Here's the man with the most possessions on the ground. Harper goes to McKay. They're away here, the Demons. They go through the middle of the ground looking for Taylor, and coming over the top there beautifully was Hector. And now Southport, they go the other way and are away. There's Clements. He has his kick smothered, so they don't quite get where they need to go. Burge, he took it but was tackled straight away. And working hard there are the Sharks here to try and retain possession. Here's the man with the good boot. It is Boston. Goes over the top. We said earlier in the call he's very efficient by foot, and that is a great example.
Oh, look, that was great. And, that's what you got to do. You got to back yourself. And, sometimes you're looking to offload it every now and then. Just go for it, son. And that's what he done then. And you know what? That's the perfect start for Southport to get back into the game. They needed the first goal, Mark. But you know what? We've said it before. They have to string 2, even 3 together. So let's see if they can get 2 in a row. Because if they do, they can start putting a bit of scoreboard pressure on the opposition. And when you start doing that, you make the opposition second guessing. So great start by Southport. They need the next goal. They really need the next one.
So that's his 16th champion data stat. And to go with 4 clearances, 2 inside 50s and 1 goal 1. Of course, his father, Neil, will be in the audience. I saw him earlier, and his uncle, Brett. They'll tune in to NITV, no doubt, to catch all the action of their boy in the thick of it. Thurlow goes over the top. Can't quite take it with him. We'll have another ball up inside. No, he won't. The umpire let it go. And winning the free kick is that man, Boston. He copped a high one from Hayne.
See the way he attacked the ball and put his body on the line. That's desperation. That's great stuff.
And a bit of AFL experience. And the kick again was a ripper, right on the money for Nathan Bock. He kicked one in the second quarter. And a pretty important one.
You wouldn't want it in anybody else's hands at the moment. You'd want it in his hands.
I wouldn't mind it in Boston's hands, but he just kicked it to him. But Nathan Bock, again, brings an enormous amount of AFL experience, former Adelaide Crow and Gold Coast Sun, and former Woodville West Torrens player too. He'll shoot right on 50. Goes back, gives it a ride. It'll swing back on the breeze. And Gilbert McAdam, you're a good judge, because Nathan Bock puts it truly, and back-to-back goals.
Oh, look, great start. And yeah, that's like I said, that's exactly what they needed now. And it's only going to give them a lot of confidence now going further into this quarter, because what it's doing now, it's going to put a bit of doubt in the Canberra Demons. There's no doubt about it. So what the Canberra players have to do now is they have to answer, and they have to get the next goal. So it's game on, and this is what we're here for. What a game of footy. This is a great game to watch. Unbelievable game.
So we are back to 1 point. 8-5-53. Canberra still lead. 7-10 Southport.
Southport are getting the ball. Sorry, Mark. They're getting the ball out of the centre, which is really important as well at the moment with Thurlow.
So the ball goes down again. Dowdle tries to contest, but it favoured Thurlow. Taylor, he was thrown down. Southport tried to come away with it. Hector's in there. Can't quite take it. Howes tries to extract, can't do so. And surely we're going to have a ball up again this time. And we are.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to strangle the opposition at the moment, and that's probably a good thing, because it's going to make people work hard for their possessions.
We'll give that one to Dowdle. Did well. Bernasconi just got it forward. Donnelly, he was infringed and will take the free kick. McKenzie says, I'll take it, Donnelly. Don't worry about me, because we can transport it down the other end of the ground quickly. Headland, he goes to half forward, just drifts over the back. Anthony's there. He just gets a hold of it, looks up, finds a target, couldn't quite really put it to the sword there. Here's Clements, goes around, gives it back in the path of Anthony, and he takes a mark and can go put Southport in front early in this third quarter. When you think about it, it's 4.5 minutes gone, and they trailed by 13 points at half time. So swift action by the Southport Sharks.
Oh, great start. And I don't know what Coach Nathan Box said to him at half time, but it's obviously worked. And you know, he knows that you can't afford to leave for late in the third quarter, or you can't leave for the last quarter. You've got to do it now and got to make it as even as possible. But more importantly, they've got a chance to hit the lead for the first time in the game. Is that correct?
Might be from early on.
Maybe in the first
game.
5 minutes
yes,
or something
that's
like
right.
that.
So, but Jack Anthony, a noted goal kicker, generally a good shot for goal,
he likes it.
And he likes it. That's his first for the afternoon. He is one of their prime movers, and the more the ball gets in his hand, the more dangerous that the Sharks will become. They have hit the front now. They're in front by 5 points, and it is 8-10-58 to Canberra Demons, 8-5-53. And one thing I actually want to raise with you, Gilbert, again, the scoreboard pressure is an enormous thing to put on the opposition.
Yes.
But one thing we spoke about before the game was the fact of the heat factor coming in as the game progresses. And while they would have come out fresh, Canberra Demons at half-time, psychologically,
you're right. Good
with
call.
Southport kicking goals, this is where a bit of the danger of that heat getting into their heads.
And plus they kicked the first couple. You're spot on, Mark. That's it in a nutshell. You're right, spot on. So big test for Demons in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
So there's a holding free kick off the ball. It'll go the way of the Demons. So they'll try and load it up. So there is Harper. You'd think he'll be paid close attention to. Buckle comes hard. Here is Flaherty. He just puts it in the path of a teammate. Can't quite take it. It was Baker. Plemming, he couldn't get involved. Keel just gets a cheeky handball back and wins the free kick as he was slung away from the play. So he is in the back pocket and he will be able to mop up for Southport in their defence. As long down the line, right in front of us here in the NEAFL TV commentary position. And that was Clements, just gets it forward. Bock, he's good enough to pick it up, goes on the left foot, looks a bit awkward, and falls into the arms of McKay. So they can reload from half back. They go, they traverse the ground. Here's House. House goes to half forward. Aaron Bruce is there. Good target, good lead. Not sure where to go now. Now he just swings around on the right foot. Looks for a short target, has Hayne, he gathers it well. Had O'Connell running deep into the forward line, and you picked it up well, Gilbert, off the ball, but he couldn't quite see him, let alone potentially reaching with that next kick, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, bad mistake by Nathan Bock then. You know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I know it was his opposite foot, but he just got to put it up in the air a bit more.
And Hector, he just mops up and gives it to, I think this might be Brad Wilson. Gives it short, finds the man, one of the goal kickers, the first one of the second half in Boston. Looking at his options, surveying the scene. Kicks it right up high in front of this clubhouse here.
Oh,
and Jack Anthony takes a mark, and the juggling effort against two players, you would suggest that might be a NEAFL mark of the day.
Well, you know what that is? That's confidence, because he wasn't doing that in the first half. He's kicked a goal before and he's taken a mark. He's got confidence. That's what it does to the players. It gives them confidence.
So he got it to Screech, and Screech just kicks it up, and the big man, Fraser Thurlow, he was almost uncontested there. And I think just given the sheer size, they didn't have the right numbers back to really make a contest with him.
He's got to kick this one now. I don't know, we keep saying it, but that's the nature of the game. Every goal is so crucial today, because if you miss it, it gives the opposition that chance to get back into the game.
He'll have to start at left, and he does. He starts at too far left because it doesn't come back far enough in 1 point. Interestingly, there wasn't a player on the line there. And the Demons are looked to bring it back very quickly. Anthony and Keel, they impose upon the contest, forced a turnover. The kick came in short, couldn't quite hang on to it. Here's Clements. Clements screws it around.
Yeah.
Sard can't hold on to it. Squeeze the handball out. Taylor for the Demons. He comes through. Plemming. He'll have to give it up. He's in trouble. He flung it out, and illegally, says the umpire, and they'll take advantage of Southport. They kick it inside forward 50. And now swooping on it is Holland. Holland goes around the corner, and the ball is taken, it's a mark, to Anthony. I thought it might have drifted out of bounds on the floor, but the umpire says that is a mark, and there's a legal mark. And Jack Anthony's right on the boundary line. It'll be a good kick from here.
He's going for his third touch in 5 minutes. But I've got to mention young, or not, I don't know how young he is, but Zach Sard. He was the one that did the tackle. He was the one that caused that turnover then.
So he goes around the corner on the left, tried to bring it back, and unsuccessfully hit the post. So it was close, but couldn't quite get there. So minor score.
Yeah, ball's all inside the Southport forward line this quarter, certainly.
Certainly is. Here's McKay. Brings it out, kicks it to himself and goes deep. Askew, but front spot there was
great
the
crumb.
Big man. But they do crumb it. Eastlake, the Canberra Demons, I should say. And that was a push, and that'll go the way of the Canberra Demons.
That's one thing we love about a game, when a small man crumbs the ball from the marking contest. That was Harrison Bryant then. That was brilliant.
So Plemming to Bernasconi. They go in descending number order, 9 to 8. Now off to Bryant. Bryant goes inside forward 50, looking for a target and finds one. And it's Dowdle, a big ruckman, pushed forward, get involved in the play, and he can go back and shoot for goal.
Yeah, and Harrison, he had 2 touches then, and he's crumbed that ball, but more importantly, he kept running. He got the ball again. He set it up. That was a great play by him.
So Dowdle, they'll have to kick it 40 on a 45-degree angle. Got a pretty reasonable angle on it here. Just comes around, but not enough. So started to the near side, and it was starting to swing the right way, but just couldn't get there. So It's actually the Demons' first score for the third quarter. And they narrow the margin.
Dangerous.
Tough kick. And they might get another opportunity here. Bruce just tries to fight his way out of a tackle.
Good
He's
tackle.
wrapped up. And they shut it down well, did Southport, because it was about to become very, very dangerous in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. Great tackle there by Darcy Trask. Then he actually kept the ball inside their forward 50.
So Hector got it from the clearance and just ripped it high. Clements, he's just wrapped up, I should say. Butterick off to Bock. He just tries to impose himself on the contest. Can't quite get clear. Now the ball's in a scrimmage. They try and come out. Burgess underneath there too. Here's Martin. He gets it off for the Demons. Kicks it backwards. Accidentally, I might add. Collins. He's there, leads the race. But now the cavalry for Southport arrive. Ericsson to Headland, now to Trask. He gets around Harper, goes on the left foot, looking for Anthony, pushes his man out of the contest. Sardi had in support, but now he decides to go short and has Holland inside forward 50, and he can go back and shoot for goal. He's already got one this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know what Nathan Bock has said to the ex-Collingwood Fremantle Dockers player, but he's had about 5 touches in the last 5 minutes, kicked a goal. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Didn't get too close to it in the first half, but
Jack Anthony
Southport have absolutely kicked another goal there, and it will be a goal to Holland, and there's a free kick off the ball after the goal's been paid, so it will start with an Eastlake free kick. But most importantly for Southport, Holland gets the goal and extends the lead to 12 points.
Do you know what happened then? Because I'm actually confused.
So the goal was signalled. So the umpire called all clear. The goal was signalled, and then a few players actually started running back to the middle, and a player's been knocked over, an Eastlake player, which is Harper by the looks of it. So he will take the free kick.
Why would you do it after you've just kicked the goal?
Just to psychologically impose yourself, perhaps.
Yeah, well, that's not good, because that gives them a chance to take it inside their forward 50. But anyway,
gives them a clearance. So Camp it is. Goes back inside. Bernasconi just turns his man around. Now, here's Lagana. He's just offloaded as he kicks it. Solid contact. Roving the ball well was O'Connell. He goes deep to the forward line. Dowdle. Was it Dowdle? No, it was Hayne actually was trying to get rid of his opponent and gave away the free kick, and Southport can relieve again. Here's Brad Wilson on his defensive 50, gets around his opponent, now kicks the ball in the middle of the ground, has the big fella in Stevenson there. Dowdle in hot pursuit and just kicks it down to half forward, box the target, throws his man away from the contest. Now this way, that way, goes over the top. The kick wasn't a good one, it's straight up in the air.
Straight up tacklies, we used to call that.
Yeah. They're not playing rugby league, boys. In the bomb. Bock just imposed himself once again, kicks it to Ericsson. Ericsson goes inboard again. Sard just puts the skates on, gets around his opponent, now can shoot for goal from 50 and sprays it. So just sneaks in for a minor score, but again, they threaten.
Exactly, but he did all the hard work, Sarden. Look, they've actually dominated. They've dominated this quarter, and yeah, I don't know with Canberra getting tired, but there's something definitely changed in this game.
O'Connell nearly plucked it from behind there. This is Bernasconi, gives it backwards. Off to Frail, not sure where to go.
Good pressure.
Screech wraps him up. Bernasconi, he's just taken over the boundary line, and a free kick is paid against him there for deliberately taking it over the boundary line.
Oh, that was a bit unfair, I thought. What else could he have done? But anyhow.
So it's Ritchie with the ball.
Good
and
kick.
Kicks it inside forward 50. Anthony drops what he should have taken on that occasion. Butterick just handballs it back over his head. The ball stays in. So Glenn Screech is motioning for players to come near him, and he motioned the wrong way because he kicked it straight to the Canberra Demons.
Yeah, he probably would have been better inclined to go to the goal square. At least it gives them a chance to near the goal line.
So Simpson got it out. Now they're on the outer side. Bryant's with the ball. He goes to half back, up towards half forward, but Penoza He just was right there, Johnny, on the spot. The kick wasn't as good as it could have been, and Southport, they just mopping it up nicely at across half-back just at the moment. Wilson over the top, dangerous handball, bearing down on Butterick was Dowdle. Manages to get a handball away, Wilson. He overcooks the handball. That's Headland coming through. Butterick's involved again, looking to give another handball. Boston, we know he doesn't miss too much. And is it again? No, it isn't. Just swings late. It looked on target. The breeze just ripped it away from the goal face.
Yeah, I think is it Butterick or Donnelly? 33?
Butterick.
It's Butterick. Look, he did that beautiful hip and shoulder there before, and he's showing a bit of an aggression. He's putting his body on the line, and he's making his other players look better.
And that's Thurlow with a very good mark. That's almost a NEAFL mark of the day as well. Goes in board. Finds Ericsson. Or Donnelly, that is, actually, 39. And inside 50, the kick is not a good one. Straight through the hands, though, of McLaughlin. So keep Southport in the hunt there to try and just impact the scoreboard once again. They retain the pressure around the contest. That's Burge, Clement, who lays the tackle. And we'll have a ball up just right on forward 50 for Southport.
Southport are the ones that look more composed now, and they're taking their time, whereas the Demons, Canberra Demons, they look rushed now. Isn't it interesting how the game's turned?
So we do have a little infringement off the ball, or under that contest there, and Clement actually won the free kick. Kicks it short and goes to Nathan Bock. Didn't go the required distance. Bock, just a bit of rust shown there in the fact that handball just didn't hit the target. We'll have a ball up this time. So Canberra able to shut the attack down on that occasion.
But more importantly, they've kept it inside their forward 50. It gives them opportunity.
Here's Boston. He runs onto it. He's taken high, so he'll go back and have the free kick. He played it well, Boston.
Yeah.
And I think the Canberra Demon, in their enthusiasm to really lay a tackle there, just came too hard, too fast, rather than just trying to corral him away from the goal in the first instance. He closed down on him too quickly.
I'll tell you one thing about Boston. The distance will not be a worry because he's got a beautiful kick on him. It's just a matter of accuracy now.
So he's off the Dennis Lilly run-up. Very deliberate, well-balanced footballer is Andrew Boston. Kicks right on 50. And you wrap a bloke up and then he lets you down. I do know his father and his uncle quite well. And boys, I'll take the bit of cash later for trying to wrap your son up. He's just got to follow through for me. In Canberra, they managed to bring the ball out. Askew couldn't take it. We haven't seen much of him of recent times. Lagana had his handball smothered. In the first half,
exactly.
And we're seeing South
Canberra Demons have dropped it so much. You know, 10 to 20%.
Yeah, that's right. So the kick came out under pressure. The umpire deemed that was all right. And so a throw in right on the interchange where the Southport players are sitting in the shade. Hot day.
This is where it is now.
And just the trajectory of the kick just gave Bock just that little bit of advantage, but he jumped into the ball hard and was able to snavel it.
But I reckon you look at the bodies, that's the difference as well, just a bit stronger.
So Bock, he's got 2, he's got 3. And Southport, they extend their margin. So 2 goals in this quarter to Nathan Bock and 3 for the game. And Southport, all of a sudden, they started the quarter 13 points adrift, and now they find themselves 21 points to the advantage of the Canberra Demons. 10-15-75 to the Demons, 8-6-54. And last week, what we did see on the coverage between Southport and Aspley, Southport, they hung in the game and they came very hard at Aspley, and Aspley, to their credit, held on. But what we are seeing is that Southport, they are a side that will keep on coming at you. So Southport, that's Stevenson. He got the hit out, and Stacks on the mill there will have a ball up.
I don't know what the coach of the Canberra Demons can do now. Do Does he put a loose man back now to stop the scoring? I don't know. I think you just got to keep trying to attack and just, more importantly, you've got to try and get the ball first. You've got to start with the centre clearances and around the ground. That's where it starts.
That's right.
And
that's where they're so dominant early in the game.
Yeah, but at the moment they're getting carved up by Southport now. It's almost like they've swapped Guernseys from the first half.
It is. We have another stoppage and the ball will go up into the beautiful sky, the blue sky here at the Gold Coast, Fankhauser Reserve. And plenty of players around it again. I think we're going to see it go up again. In fact, we have a free kick. And we'll go the way of the Canberra Demons. We'll go against Dyson Butterick. And go the way of Cameron Bernasconi.
They need a goal. They need a goal, Canberra, to stay in this game before it gets away from them.
Goes to half forward. Boston was first there. Taylor roved it well. O'Connell. I'll get that right one of these times. And it wasn't even him to start with, it was Flaherty. He was underneath it. A few players with headbands. Keep the wool out of the eyes. Here's a one from Southport. That's Crowley. Gives it off to Keel. Former Grogan medalist. Goes to half forward. Clement leads the charge, but the ball beats them over the boundary line. Over throw in.
Crowley, you've called him a few times, you know, and he's really strong there in defence, and he always takes that strong mark. And Keel, he's good at running out in defence and setting the play up, and they've combined well a few times, those two today.
Keel made his name more as midfielder, and Crowley is making his own name here at Southport. His father, very well regarded player, Craig Crowley, multiple premiership player, and an ex-coach as well at Southport. Plenty of players around the contest again, and it just looks like some tired bodies starting to creep into this game.
Well, you know, you watch a game of footy and you see the momentum and you see how it's changing, and I just can't see them. I know it's still a bit to go, but, you know, the body language and just they look tired, Canberra.
23 and 3/4 minutes gone of this third quarter, and almost think that some of the bodies, when they get in that scrimmage, are almost starting to submit, saying it's a bit warm.
Yeah.
We'll just go for another ball up, and we'll try and clear it after that.
They haven't kicked a goal this quarter.
No, they've only got the 1 point. So here's Harper. He'll need to get them really moving. The ball eludes everybody but Headland. He kicks it forward. Burge couldn't quite take it cleanly. Here's Harper again. Good handball. Off to Martin. He's been a little
bit quiet.
Again. Now the pressure. They turn it over. It ends up with Burge. Burge kicks it low and hard. Finds Jack Anthony on the lead. He just looks like he's starting to really grow in confidence, Jack Anthony.
Yeah, do you reckon Nathan Bock would have said something to him at half-time? Because we didn't see him. Look, a player of his stature, you know, I just expect him to be on fire all the time, and maybe it shouldn't probably think like that, but he's a player that can turn a game, and he's done it this quarter. And you know, we didn't see him very much in the first half, but he's been brilliant in this quarter. He's actually been the X factor, like you said, and he's turned the game around.
One of the catalysts, no doubt.
Oh, one of them, yeah, exactly.
And he will come in, shoot for his second, shoots from 40, kicks right through the ball, and no mistake at all. So very well done. It was a good pass in, and the Canberra Demons, they just extend, or get the pain extended to them. And Southport kick another through the agency of Jack Anthony. They extend their lead out to 27 points.
Yeah, no, look, it's brilliant stuff again from Southport, and I don't know where the Canberra Demons are going to get their next goal from, Mark, but somebody has to, you know, Harper, he was dominant earlier on in the first half. Taylor's gone into the middle now. That's probably what they need to do. They need to get blokes, just get involved with the game, and even though they're out of the game, they just get in the contest and see what happens. They might get the ball, lay a tackle, do a smother, do something.
So Harper, he got the clearance, kicks it out to the outer wing, but Keel is the first there. Now they look to run and carry. Boston, does he elude a tackle?
That's
no,
the sort
he
of
doesn't.
Stuff they need to do.
So well done to the Demons. Harper had it again. This time they turn it over though. So, and there's a free kick. Goes off the ball. It's actually going down the ground after disposal. Thurlow is the man with the footy. He goes down deep and goes all the way.
Unbelievable.
And Thurlow, that was from about 70 metres out, if you don't mind. So he absolutely threw it up in the breeze, and it has gone bang.
Oh, look, that was just a magnificent goal. And, you know, you said before when he had a shot, that soccer sort of a kick, and you said ruckman aren't meant to do that. Well, you know what? Ruckman aren't meant to do that. They're not meant to kick goals from 65, 70 metres out with a beautiful drop punt. That was a magnificent kick, and that's a feather in his cap. That's what I like about him, you know, in terms of flexibility. He's not only a good ruckman for him. I actually feel that they should throw him in the forward line more often. And you imagine if they got a three-prong attack, along with Anthony, Brock, and him, that's dangerous.
It certainly is. There's plenty to look forward to for Southport in season 2016. Thurlow gets it down there again. Canberra, they turn it over again. That's Sard, off to Trask. Trask on the left foot, goes up towards Anthony. That one's a bit wider of the target and will roll over the boundary line. So they go inside forward 50 yet again. And we talked about inside 50s.
But another centre clearance again for Southport.
And they dominated inside 50s in the first half, the Canberra Demons, and inside 50s now almost level for the game.
Yeah, well, that's a reflection of how well they played this quarter, and they needed to do that. They needed to change all that.
Dowdle got their hands down. Now it's Taylor, got the ball forward, but only as far as a Southport player at time. I think it might be Ericsson.
Have a shot.
And here's Crowley. He had a shot earlier in the day. It looked tentative, but that one wasn't, because that one was like an arrow. Straight through the heart of the Canberra Demons.
Oh, look, that's brilliant stuff, and that's AFL, that's Australian rules football, that is. That's just magnificent, and don't you love it when blokes, they do the side step and then they're 55 out or 50 on the 50 line. Have a shot, son. That was just brilliant play, and you know what? That's team lifting stuff, you know, and they probably don't need much team lifting because they're dominating the game, but look, that's just brilliant play by the Southport, and Thurlow just continues to win the ball out of the middle, and I think you mentioned Trask. He was the one that also set that up, so Southport very, very dominant at the moment.
Well, all of a sudden they've turned a 13-point deficit at half-time into a 39-point lead. It's 8 goals to none in this third quarter. Absolute warning sirens going everywhere for the Canberra Demons as Southport, they take the ball out of the centre again. That one was by Wilson. Mopping it up there is, might have been Sard. Going through now is Hector. Gives it off. And they just work the ball down deep again, but this time Howells is good enough for the Demons just to help stem the tide, albeit momentarily. Bernasconi back to McKay.
I was just going to mention Joel Carwin. See the way he ran in the middle and got that ball in and got it to turn the ball over?
Yeah, that was actually
brilliant.
Holland. So good work there.
Numbers.
It's all right. We're just working with some numbers. Apparently Southport's jumpers haven't arrived, so there are a few jumper number changes in what we're used to here today.
Well, they'll have to forgive us for that.
Now, if we do get a few wrong, we do apologise. This one, though, I know this guy, that's Jason Burge, goes up towards the big fella in Stevenson. He can't quite gather it. The siren goes. Jack Anthony was trying to swoop on the ball. So that is three-quarter time, and what has been a phenomenal quarter of football from the Southport Sharks. In that quarter, they kicked 8 goals, 5 to the Canberra Demons, 1 point. That means that they've turned a 13-point deficit at half-time into a 39-point lead going into the last quarter. And Gilbert McAdam, it has been nothing short of breathtaking.
Oh, look, it's been brilliant, and the way Southport come out and they kicked that first goal, you know, that started the third quarter, and that's what they needed to do after the first half. They kicked the first goal, but not only did they kick the first goal, they actually kicked their multiple goals 2 in a row for the first time in the game, which, you know, it just puts a bit of pressure, puts pressure on the Canberra Demons, and then they scored another one, and then all of a sudden they start looking at the scoreboard and they start not getting negative, but you certainly think about what you're doing and when you get the ball, and that's been the difference in this quarter to the first 2 quarters.
And one thing you'll find with a young side, that if you can put them on the back foot, they do start to think about things.
Exactly.
They are a young, impressionable, growing, improving side, are the Canberra Demons. But
And the weather?
They are susceptible, I think, with a number of factors
Yep.
that have seen them really compound in this third quarter. And Southport really have shifted gears. So at three-quarter time, it is 13-15-93. The Canberra Demons, 8-6-54. The lead to the Sharks at three-quarter time is 39 points. We'll be back with you in the last quarter. And players walk out for the last quarter here at Fankhauser Reserve. The Southport Sharks, they made a statement in the third quarter. They kicked 8 goals to Canberra Demons none. They now turned a 13-point deficit at halftime into a 39-point lead. And they are well in control of this game. Mark Kennedy joined by Gilbert McAdam. It was an astounding turnaround the game just to see Southport really take control.
Yeah, and the 8 goals, that speaks for itself. But the most important thing, they kept Canberra Demons goalless, which, you know, they hadn't done in the first half. So great play by the Southport. They call the third quarter the premiership quarter. Well, this definitely is the premiership. It was definitely the premiership quarter because this has actually set them up to win the game.
So Andrew Boston, he leads Southport with 22 disposals. Harper has 22 for the Canberra Demons. Interestingly, hit-outs going Southport's way, 43-11. So Thurlow and Stevenson have been absolutely dominant over Dowdle and Askew. So we see another stoppage after the initial bounce. So we'll go again. And you just about give that one to Thurlow. Hector came through and just kicked it forward. Inside their forward 50. Bok, he's got 3 for the game. Gives
handball.
it off to Anthony. Now running into an open goal. That is the young man in Clements. And that really puts the writing on the wall. So Clements has his first. There's a little bit of push and shove there, but it matters not because Southport, they continue to kick away.
Yeah, no, look, great play by them. That was just a brilliant goal by Southport. There's a bit going on in the centre, but how quick was that straight out of the centre clearance? And that's why they dominated in that third quarter. That was brilliant play, what he just did then. And, well, Anthony and Bok, the two ex-AFL champions, combined really well then. And that was brilliant play. That was in the space of, 15 seconds that took? 10 to 15 seconds?
Yeah, that's right. So, again, just putting the pedal to the metal, as they might say sometimes. So Thurlow, he got it out with a hit out again. Dowdle, he just worked hard there. Harper. Now Plemming, he's wrapped up. And that intensity that Southport have really brought to the contest since half-time really has taken effect. Dowdle just flicks that handball out. Coming through is Baker. He's dumped onto the ground. And plenty of players arrive. And there's got to be 10, 15 players around this contest. And the ball will be wrapped up there. Bryant laid a good tackle. For the umpire just will throw it up there.
I reckon that's what Nathan Bok said to him at half time. Fellas, what we need to do is we need to get more numbers at the ball before we run away from the contest. Let's get the ball first and then we can decide what to do with it. Because they've dominated the clearances around the grounds.
Taylor had his handball smothered. Keel comes away with it. Plemming wraps him up. O'Connell couldn't quite take it with him in the first instance. Hector, he's set upon by Harper. And he's in trouble, one would think. That is gone. Holding the ball will be the decision. And Jordan Harper, who has tried extremely hard. He's had some close attention to start the second half, but he's continued to rack them up. And this will be his 23rd champion data stat.
Yeah, look, he's definitely one of their main players, and he's been terrific all day.
So Bruce went at the ball. O'Connell was there. Ericsson just kicks the ball straight into Taylor, goes over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. So in Canberra's forward half of the ground, just at half forward on this clubhouse side, not a cloud in the sky that I can see. And plenty of clouds around the Demons' way just at the moment as they are succumbing to Southport's might. The players, and that would be the young man wrapped up in Ritchie over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in. So inside forward 50 now for Canberra. Yeah,
look, I just think the Canberra Demons, to get something out of this game, they just need to finish it off well because they had such a good first half. And it'd be disappointed for them to just bow out so easily in the second half.
So Dowdle, handed over the back. Lagana, he sharks it off a Southport handball and kicks it truly. So Brandon Lagana from the fishing town of Bermagui, if I've got my memory correct. He makes no mistake, and to put it mildly, a badly netted goal for the Canberra Demons.
Yeah, look, good setup there, and it started with Harper, who got the ball and got a free kick, and he's the one that got it inside their forward 50. And one thing I've noticed, the ruckman for Canberra Demons,
Dowdle.
Yes, he's gone in there onto Thurlow now, and I reckon he should have been in there a bit earlier on in that third quarter.
Look, they left a player out of the lineup at Canberra Demons. I'm not sure whether by injury or omission of Matthew Channon, another ruckman. So Dowdle's had to front up for the majority of the day up there. They've used Askew to help him out.
Yep.
But certainly the heat in terms would wear a player like a big Dowdle down as we see the ball to half forward for Canberra once again. Crowley's there, just trying to etch his way into the contest. Also there was Flaherty for the Canberra Demons. And we'll have a throw-in, half forward on the clubhouse side.
Both sides still making those changes. They've been doing them all day, and like Mark said, it's been a magnificent day today in Gold Coast.
So Holland to Burge, now to Boston. Just looks and he just tries to kick it. Maybe his father got to him at three-quarter time and said, try and kick it to mark up in the commentary position.
Well, I was just about to say, was you going to mark that? Because it would have hit me otherwise.
I would have fallen about 13 metres from the trying to catch that one. But we'll see Collins. Nick Collins with the ball right in front of us. Right leg heavily strapped, kicks it down the line. Just punching the ball forward. There was Wilson. Now Boston. Now he decides no more fun and games. And Howells tries to come through. Stuck the big mid up. That was Anthony to Burge. It's reasonably well done. Bock just squeezes a little handball. Here's Sard. He finds a bit of space to move. He puts the rockets on. Kicks it forward. Very ambitious. Was Rob Clements. And he was put a saddle on him.
Would have been
rodeo right. Type of action.
Would have been all right if he took it, though.
It would have been, as Howells mops it up for the Demons. Goes up the middle of the ground, finds a target. It looks like Bryant. He just overcooks the kick. Hector just stands in the tackle. Into Ritchie, now to Burge. Burge, he just butchers it. And kicks it back to Bryant. Bryant goes wide. Out towards Hayne. It looks to be a little bit of a push. Umpire says no. Headland, he's the beneficiary of both the push that he gave and also pick up the ball. Now Wilson, he has it, goes long inside forward 50. Anthony might have been held. Frail did reasonably well there. Clements gives it back to Bock, and Bock goes around the corner, and that is 4. So Nathan Bock added 2 in the second, 1 in the first half. 2 in the third quarter, 1 in the second, and now 1 in the last. It's 4 for the game, and he's had a good impact on the contest.
He has, and I think it was Headland you called from the defence end that set it up, and he's their skipper now, their new skipper. And
yeah, last year he took over.
Yeah, and look, he hasn't only just done that then. He's been one of their set up from the back line for the whole game so far, and yeah, he's a player to watch that, you know, especially if you're in opposition.
He's had 19 champion data stats, has Headland. And interestingly, Nathan Bock has got 19 as well. So he's right amongst the possessions. So he comes through now. That's Simpson for the Demons. Gives it off to Lagana. He just kicks it long and high up towards Flaherty. Here's taken high, I thought was Bryant. Umpire says no. Ritchie just tries to squeeze one out. Lagana, he's dispossessed by Boston. The ball ends up now with Camp. Camp goes over the top.
Pressure by Southport.
Yep, and Southport's pressure there by McKenzie on the tackle was good, and he'll be rewarded.
Yeah, great stuff.
And the free kick will go against Baker. Off to Trask. Just went out towards the boundary line. Still at half back. Goes short. Has Boston. Up in ascending number order. 16 to 17. A little Mexican wrestler, I think he looks like. Boston. Dirty little moustache he's got. Kicks it up the line. And Bernasconi just lays the fist to push the ball away from Screech. Goes over the boundary line. And we'll have it thrown in right in front of us here in the clubhouse position.
Yeah, no, look, Boston, he's been terrific for them all day, hasn't he? He's just...
You think he'd feature in the NEAFL MVP votes, I would have thought. Wilson, he gets it away from the scrimmage. Bernasconi off to Frail. Frail to Harper. Harper under extreme pressure, just forced to just push it or kick it any way he possibly could. And it went as far as Keel. Keel, he quickly goes off to Holland. Holland's got a bit of space and time to move and then just doesn't do enough with it. McKay, he was there. Oh, and just going there was Anthony just to wrap his player up. And he's going to be rewarded with the free kick because might be Nick Collins under there. Just didn't make any effort. In fact, it was Bernasconi. He almost submitted to the Anthony tackle. And as soon as you don't make an effort in the umpire's eyes, you're in trouble.
You're gone. Yeah, no, look, well done by Anthony too, you know, to set that up and give him the opportunity for that free kick. And he's done some terrific things in the second half, Anthony, and, you know, if he's kicked goals or he's taken a mark, that's the sort of stuff you want to see him do as well. You want to see him to do the 1% sort of stuff, and it's team lifting stuff, that is.
So Jack Anthony,
have a look at the camper van.
Goals.
Have a look at the camper van behind.
It's a fair setup.
Well, you wouldn't see that anywhere in Australia, at any football ground, anywhere.
Well, Jack Anthony must have been distracted by how good a setup it was, a bit like Gilbert McAdam, because he sprayed that one.
Well, they got their chairs, their decks. They've probably driven all the way up from Victoria, those people. Let's pull into the Southport Sharks. They're playing today.
Well,
put the shade up, put the chairs out.
Doesn't matter where you come to see our great game. Whether it's in Victoria, Western Australia, out the back of Burke, our friends up in the NT, or down here on the beautiful Gold Coast, you can come and see some good quality football. Thurlow went high. Bryant cleans it up, gives it to a man under pressure. That's Taylor. They feed it out by hand. Here's a
tackle.
And Budrick was the tackler. He goes again. And there's a high tackle adjudicated by the umpire. It will go the way of Dyson Budrick.
Yeah, well, he earned that because he did the tackle and he turned it over, and he's been rewarded with the free. So he's very hard at the ball, Budrick.
Long way down for Thurlow on that occasion. Now he gives the handball inside, off to Thine. Anthony just impacts the contest, tries to almost drag Collins down without the ball. Screech, and Collins actually does drag a bloke down without the ball, and that is Glenn Screech, and he will take the free kick right on forward 50 on that boundary line on this clubhouse side. The umpire just asked Jack Anthony to jump out of the way. He's just going to centre this up.
Yeah, I reckon the distance will be a worry, especially in the last quarter. His legs are a bit tighter. Just put it in the goal square. Yeah, hopefully Bock might take a specky or somebody will.
Just going to set it up, and he does that. 20 metres out, and there's nobody there. And one of the smaller players in Zach Sard just stood there and said, "Thank you very much." No pressure from the Canberra Demons.
Well, that's what happens when you... he didn't confuse him. I actually think that kick actually went off the side of his boot a little bit.
It drifted a bit further forward of the square than we thought.
So definitely. I reckon it was a missed kick, but Sard was in the right place. So well done to Sard for being in the right spot.
So Zach Sard has had 11 disposals so far. He's only kicked the one behind, and now he matches that behind with a goal for the tally. And Southport are really racing away. And 52 points now the margin. And they move out to 16-6, 112 to Canberra Demons, 9-6-60. So it is really getting to probably disappointing proportions for the Canberra Demons, considering the effort that they really came to play in that first half.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, because what they need to do now, they have to be careful because they need something to take into next week's game, and at the moment there's nothing there. So what they need to do, they need to show some sort of a little bit of fight. That's what they need, a little bit of fight, just to show the opposition that we might be losing this game, Mark, but you know what? We're going to fight it out till the end.
Well, let's see if they can bring it in the last half of this last quarter. And the umpire ball it up again. And again, good pressure from Southport to just keep it in the area when required. So 11 goals to 1 in this second half. That's been the absolute tail of this game thus far. Hector just toes it towards the goal kicker in Sard. He picks it up nice and cleanly. Back to Hector. Now they work it through. Thine goes forward there to Trask. He's probably going to look for the boundary line. He just releases the ball, and the umpire says we'll throw it in.
Yeah, look, that was a great tackle there by Jed Simpson. That's what they've got to do. Even though they've got to make some sort of effort, show the opposition that they're still going to fight it out.
So Dowdle and Stevenson. Dowdle had front spot. There's Taylor. Good hands there. Gives it to Collins. Now Lagana. Now off to their prime mover in Harper. He's going to carry a fair load this year, one would think. The run and carry there of McLaughlin was negated by a good tackle from the Southport defence. Now they can reload it again. Got Burge on the outer side. He's asked to go. And he goes backwards. And he finds Ritchie. There's a man coming forward. That is Ericsson. Kicks it short. It's Burge, so number of possessions ends up with the same gentleman in Burge there. Now off to Holland. Holland goes inside forward 50. Just trying to run onto the ball was the Southport offence, but Fleming did well there. Taylor off to Martin. Off to Howes. Now back to Taylor. Taylor looking for a target, just falling short. So just some tired legs. Lagana goes for the big barrel. Goes to half forward. That's Flaherty. Just tries to get it his way. And Panozzo just does very well. He's got a bit of support there in McKenzie. Which way is he going to go? This way, that way. Decides to go to the outer side of the ground. Can't find his teammate. And he was looking for Ericsson there. But again, they just mopped it up at the right time.
I thought the umpire was going to call that deliberate. But he was actually going for his
he was going for his
teammate,
target, Ericsson.
It was just a bad kick, wasn't it?
Yep. So the ball, 60 metres around from the Southport goal, out of side. Give that one to Dowdle. Just slams it on the boot towards his way. Bruce hasn't seen much action in this second half because it's all been one way. Fothergill's under it. We haven't seen much of him in the second half either. Southport, they try to extract it. Butterick just wasn't held in that tackle though. Burge just runs into his own man. That was Ericsson. Goes over the top now and finds Holland. Holland just chips it out a little bit wider. Finds it one of the other Mosquito Fleet and Butterick. Butterick goes for Clements. McKay's right there with him, but he just goes hard again, Clements. Now he might cough the ball up, so we're right on that outer wing. Boston's in around the pack as well. Now the Demons, they managed to get it back out. Harper goes around the corner, high. Over the back there was Askew. Just plays on inside forward 50. Can go for goal. And it's a good one.
Good answer.
A good kick there by Sam Askew. It's nothing to sneeze at. And that's his second for the afternoon. So well done. Much needed and badly needed goal. And it really brings them back a little closer. It's not going to make any difference to the final score there, but 10-6-66. Southport 16-16, 112. We're in the 18th minute of the game here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Yeah, look, just a much-needed goal by them. And, yeah, good stuff. That was great play and just a great goal, wasn't it, really, when you think about it?
Ball up again. The umpire will bring it back. So 3-2 in this last quarter, favouring Southport. So they've won the quarter again, but the damage, if you're only just joining us, was done in the third quarter. 8-0 to turn a small margin into a big offensive threat at three-quarter time, and that's all the way through. That's O'Connell from the middle of the ground. So Daniel O'Connell, I didn't get excited because I thought somebody was going to touch it. But Gilbert, you saw it, and that is a NEAFL goal of the round, and certainly a contender.
Look, that went 70 metres, drop punt on the run. That's a magnificent goal. But you know what? Why didn't they put him on in the midfield more often throughout the game? Because he's been playing on the wing, and I know they've been using him a hell of a lot, but the way he got that ball out of the middle, you sort of think, why hasn't he been there more often?
Well, he's standing at centre-half forward at the moment, so he came in. But he's absolutely launched one.
Great goal, wasn't it?
It was a very good goal. So 3 goals apiece here in this last quarter. Screech gives it over to Boston. Just slams it on the left foot. You can hear the smack on the leather of his boot there. Anthony was forced to punch. Now Canberra, a little bit of run and carry here. They can get things happening a little bit quicker here. Fothergill off. Oh, just butchered it. Just hands need to be a little bit better. On that occasion, Barker was involved. Also Lagana, and now the ball with Hayne. Just gives it off to Harper. Just controls it. He couldn't quite take it. Kicks around the corner. Yes!
That's the goal of the day.
That's the goal of the day. And it was just clever play. He was forced to just keep it in. Couldn't quite take the mark. Kept it on the right foot. Banana or check side, if you like, depending upon where you're watching from around the country.
Yeah.
And he just bent it back in beautifully.
Well, no, they call it banana in Adelaide?
A check side in Adelaide.
The check side.
You should know, mate.
Yeah, I
Central
know.
Districts.
I know I should know, but you know what I call it? I call it the Alice Springs way. We call it the boomerang.
The boomerang.
Well,
yes.
he curved it around. But anyway, look, doesn't matter what it's called because it's our goal of the day. Well done. That's what, because they're a lot younger, that's what they need, and even though I've said it before, the game's probably shut for them at the moment, but that's what they need to do, just to get some credibility for themselves, to take into next week's game.
Well, that was 30 possessions for Harper, and his 30th one was an absolute ripper.
Brilliant.
So, Askew, he's penalised for holding the ball. So Boston ends up with the football. He got it off the big man in Stevenson. Goes to half forward. Anthony comes out, but he was well and truly covered. Fothergill. And just slammed it. Lagana, he just picked it up off his bootlaces. Goes up towards the big boy in Dowdle. Just tries to show some clean pair of heels to Crowley. Can't do so. And the ball just rolls out of play. 70 metres around from the Southport goal. Or from the Demons goal, I should say.
Yeah, it just looks like the Southport guys are a little bit tired now. And that's probably understandable after the great third quarter they had. And if anything, the Canberra Demons should be a little bit fresher. They should be able to finish the game off more better than Southport.
So Stevenson got the hit out down. And Stacks on the mill. Hector's underneath it. And he's well wrapped up. And we'll have another ball up. So just kept tirelessly ploughing away has Harper. That's Keel. Just backing back there to give himself a bit of space with Boston. Gave it back to Keel. Has a good block there, so he's got a bit of time. Puts it up to the outer wing. Big Thurlow is there, couldn't take the mark. Taylor just is bounced off in the tackle. Hector, he was the man that imploded there on it. Sard, he runs inside forward 50, goes nearly over the top, so well done on that occasion. Oh, Anthony goes around the corner. I was going to say well done to McLaughlin, but just keeping his feet nicely was Anthony. Yeah. Just stood up, showed his experience, and kicked his third.
Yeah, look, great play by Anthony then, and he's just finished off the great game in great fashion. He's one of their experienced players up in the forward line, and he's had a pretty good day out, considering, and finished off with some good goals, and that's what he has to do. He's kicked three. No, he's had a terrific game, Anthony, and it's a game that you expect him to play, probably week in, week out,
So he's ended up, again, the majority of his possessions have come in the second half, but he's currently sitting in 17 champion data disposals, 8 marks, 3 goals, 2, and a couple of inside 50s to go with it. So it's not a bad return on the whole, but we know certainly that the majority of that has come in the second half.
Yeah, and you know what I've noticed? A lot of it's inside the forward 50. Last year when we called a lot of his games, he was taking a lot of marks down the ground on the wings and then centre forward. Well, for him to be more dangerous, stay inside the forward 50.
Yeah, and that's obviously really dependent on the Southport midfield machine being in gear as well.
Spot on. Yep, that's true.
So we have a secondary stoppage in the middle of the ground again. We go up high and give that one to Dowdle. Here's Hector coming through. Good tackle by Fothergill. Still managed to get a handball away. Ends up with Burrs. They go to half forward now. So Clements battles hard there. Also with Simpson. So now they're tangled in amongst their tangled limbs is that football, and the umpire says, I'll throw it up, boys.
Box have an arrest on the bench. Thorlow's gone to the forward line, so they've taken the foot off the pedal a little bit.
Getting it around the corner there was Holland. Goes inside forward 50. Anthony, again, dives after the ball. He's in trouble there. I didn't think that was a push for mine because he already went to ground, but the umpire says, you're wrong to me, and it is a free kick. And Jack Anthony will go back. Be a tough kick from actually this particular pocket, just given where the wind I think is going to come into his face.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. He's actually kicking straight into it, and it'll test him. But look,
he hands it off.
Unselfish, yeah.
He hands it off because there was just people in board just queuing up there. One of them there was Brad Wilson, and he can go back. He'll have to shoot it from the best part of about 42 metres, but certainly improve the angle for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and. Yeah, he should go back. He should go back and kick it.
So 40 points is the margin. We've played about 24 and a half minutes. And rub a little bit of salt into the wounds of the Canberra Demons if he kicks it. looks on target.
Great kick.
And just swung back nicely for a great goal for Brad Wilson. So Southport pushed the margin out, 46 points. 18-16, 124. Canberra Demons, 12-6, 78. And the shadows lengthening on this game. And Southport will chalk up their first win of season 2016.
Yeah, just a great kick then. Magnificent kick. He's had a pretty reasonable day too, you know. He's been lively all the way, all around the ground. And, you know, to be able to kick a goal, you know, in that fashion, he's got great skill, but I'll tell you, he's a little hard, little nut too around the contest, and
right.
He certainly puts his body on the line.
18 disposals, 10 marks, 4 inside 50s, 3 rebound 50s and 4 clearances. So he's had a pretty fair day out.
Every team's got to have one of them players.
Yeah, the in and unders around, working both ends of the ground. So Canberra work it out of their middle of the ground and go deep inside forward 50. Penoza, he just gets a big fist on it. Wrapped up there was Ritchie. Off to McKenzie. McKenzie just dinks it out outside their forward 50 and finds Darcy Trask. Goes back inboard. Thurlow standing there all on his own. He has a bit of support out on the outer side. This is Ericsson. Hayne, he's a bit tired. He's not going to chase too hard. Goes around. Handball.
Oh, downfield.
There's a free kick down the field, paid. And it'll go, actually, the way of the Canberra Demons. So there's a bit of holding off the ball. Go the way of Lagana. I didn't exactly see what it is, but it was obviously well forward of the ball.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That a Canberra Demons player was actually held, no doubt.
It was about 100 metres off the ball. So I didn't see it.
So they go inside forward 50. They miss a target. Here's young Buckle. Very injury-riddled career. I read a very interesting little bio about him, an article about Jordan Buckle. He's missed the best part of 3 or 4 years with unfortunately being involved in a car accident and then all sorts of shoulder and leg injuries and so forth. So great to see him back out here.
Yeah, great story.
Almost didn't come back to play football, so it's great to see him out here as Southport get it out of defence. Canberra, they can get it back in, although Hayden Keel comes with the flying boot to push it back his way. Clements gets it. He's going his way a bit further. Stevenson, he can run inside forward 50. The big giraffe goes on the left foot. How accurate is he? Looked a little bit lumbering, and he couldn't quite get it all the way from that giant hand down to that giant foot in the right fashion. But he's had a good game today, I think. That's the second ruckman to Thurlow.
No, he has. But you know what? He actually probably could have ran another 5 metres, I reckon, and played cat and mouse with the opposition because he had another support player with him.
We do make a bit of fun, but these players, they're all very serious out there. And there's one of them, Martin. Goes out wide. Has Fothergill. And go to the outer wing. Has Bruce all by himself. Just led McKenzie to the ball. Dowdle just found a bit of space, the big man. He can put it inside forward 50. Going for a target over the back. And looks like he'll find it. No, Hayne does well. I'll tell you what, Ritchie did very well there without giving a free kick away. Hayne, he feigned to go for the mark to try and put Ritchie off. Yeah. But Ritchie did really well there.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant by Ritchie. And great stuff. That's what Nathan Bock would be happy with the guys, even though there's not a lot of time to go. Still keep fighting it out.
Thurlow, the big man. I won't call him a giraffe. He'll probably come up and reach up and grab me from here. McKenzie off to Trask. McKenzie gets it again. Takes one bounce. Kicks it to Anthony on outer wing. So he's roving around up the ground. Stevenson up forward. Oh, that's going to end in a huge collision. That would hurt. He's going to get up. Tough stuff from Darcy Trask.
Unbelievable clash.
And no malice in the contest from anybody, but that just was a clash of bodies. And the hard bit is you could actually see it about to happen too.
Yeah, look, both players, they just had their eyes on the ball then, and they really didn't know who was around them at the time. And that's what makes our game so special. You know, as cruel as that might look sometimes, it's actually spectacular, and I'm just happy that both players are going to be okay. And you know, we don't want any injuries, especially with.
There'll be another stoppage there on that outer wing. Got one to Thurlow. Burge just tries to close down on the footy. He does so now. Goes around the body to half forward. Collins is there for the Canberra Demons and he'll mop it up. So closing minutes of this game. The game's progressed. Bryant, baby faced, kicks the ball inside forward 50. Contesting there was Hayne. Richie mops up. McKenzie's there. He does well. Gets around an opponent and goes up the middle of the ground. Finds Burge. Off to his captain. Former captain to captain. We've called that a couple of times today in Headland. Goes to half forward. Finds Rob Clements. Saying kick it to me. But he decides to find Jack Anthony on the lead. 55 metres out from goal.
Yeah, you think it'd be too far out here and just kick it long and...
He found cleverly Thine. He's opened up, so Thine can kick for goal. We're going to have enough. Yes, it is. Needed the support of a Joel Stevenson block, but it did get there, and it was good run from the back half of the ground by Tom Thine to register yet another goal for Southport.
Yeah, look, I'm glad Jack Anthony didn't listen to me then, because Lachlan Ritchie was... by himself not by himself, but on an opponent, and there was no one else within 5 metres of him, and if he would have kicked it long, I'm sure he would have marked it, but great vision by Anthony to spot Tommy Thine, and great finish there, great goal.
So 51 points now the margin, 31 and a half minutes gone of this last quarter. We've had 10 goals in this last quarter, 6 to Southport and 4 to Canberra, so it hasn't been all one-way traffic. But certainly in this second half as a whole, it really has been Southport's afternoon. They turned a 13-point deficit at half-time into a 51-point victory as we hear that final siren go and the players shake hands. And Gilbert McAdam, we saw Southport really flex their muscles and show the competition that they are going to be a serious contender when they've got their mind on the job today.
Oh, look, absolutely. And I think the most positive thing for Southport is it doesn't matter how many goals they're behind at any certain stage of the game, they still give themselves a chance. And you sort of said it before when you said, Southport, you're going to get 4 quarters with them. And that's what we did see today, that you're going to get your 4 quarters. On the other side, Canberra Demons, well, we saw 2 brilliant quarters for them. The first half and was magnificent, and the way it was looking, I actually thought that they might have eventually win the game because I didn't see the momentum of Southport that I'd seen in the second half. So you've got to give Southport a lot of credit the way they bounced back after half time, and just well done to Southport, and great coaching by Nathan Bock to be able to turn it around and win the game.
Well, he's the leading goal kicker on the ground, Nathan Bock. He finished with 4 goals from 19 possessions. Andrew Boston, very good game from him. He had 29 disposals, including 1 goal, 6 clearances, 4 inside 50s and 2 rebound 50s, and 3 tackles to work with there. Burge had 21, 20 each to Headland, Anthony, and Rob Clements also chipped in with 19. And Wilson, we talked about, was very good as well for Southport from that point of view. And for the Canberra Demons, Jordan Harper, very good game. He copped a fair bit more attention after half-time, but still managed to have 30 disposals for the game, including 7 inside 50s and 4 clearances. And, of course, that what we reckon is almost a NEAFL goal of the day today.
He just needed some more support around the midfield, just to take a bit of the pressure off him, because I think that he was the main one getting the ball out of the centre. They just need someone in tandem, just a combination, and that's I just think if he would have had that, the scores might have been a bit closer.
Yeah, that's right. And Martin stood up. He had 22 disposals. And Isaac Tarlow, I thought, as the game went on, he faded a fair bit. But the first half, certainly, he was very good. He had 20 disposals, 5 clearances, and 3 rebound 50s. And from a centre-half back, Cameron Bernasconi was also very good. Their major goal kickers, Jack Baker had a couple, Aaron Bruce had a couple, Askew, the human sneeze, had a couple, and also Dan O'Connell, he had a couple for the Demons. But it really was the Southport Sharks show that really took off after half-time to really put their stamp on the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, You know, obviously they wanted to get their first win off the board for 2016, and they did now. And I think they made 6 changes over the summer from last season. So good start. Bock will be happy with 1-1.
1-1 for Southport, 0-2 for the Canberra Demons. This afternoon, thanks very much for joining me, Gilbert McAdam.
Great call again, Mark. Great call.
Thanks for having us here at NEAFL and also on NITV. It's great to be with you for season 2016. Southport today by 51 points.